Hello, chat. Good evening. I don't have my whatchamacallit up. There we go. Good evening, chat. Hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. We're back here for D&D. We're gonna play. We probably won't be here for the next couple of weeks, being that the holidays are coming up and everybody gets a little busy and everything like that. So we'll let you know if we're coming back or not. But other than that, I'm gonna message and make sure they're not talking about stuff that they don't want on a live stream. And get into it here shortly. So welcome back, you guys.
I would say that's, yeah.
Technically,
Hi.
Gandalf was a sorcerer, but he more
He also
aligned with
learned
wizard.
stuff.
He learned it.
Yeah.
He learned his wizarding from the gods. To be fair, he was.
Aren't all the wizards from Lord of the Rings like sent by the gods anyway?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, so they're basically they're like clerics, not wizards.
Paladins?
That's true, but they aren't working for the gods.
Well, they don't take oaths to the gods, so
Yeah.
There's also different types of cleric. So if you want to play a cleric, you could play like a different style of cleric.
True.
Clerics have a lot of diversity, actually.
They
That's
do.
probably the most diverse class.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm a cleric. I was blessed by the gods. But I fucking hate those gods.
Breaker, got it.
There is a cleric I think that is like anti-cleric, I guess you could say. Like not really super. No, maybe that's paladin. Never mind. I take that back. That's wrong.
Yeah, you're
It's
thinking paladin. You're thinking paladin. Every cleric is like, my god. Even if they're an evil god, they're like, my god.
My
My
God.
guy.
We cut his head off, and he was coming back alive again.
He was a paladin.
Okay.
He was like a death paladin. But like
Yeah.
he's a special boss class, but he's more of like a paladin.
Yep. All
Figure out
right.
If you want a bow, a sword, a shield, or magic first. That's the first.
Yeah.
And then narrow it down from there.
All right. Pause that music. No, it's all good. It's just letting you guys
Maybe-
finish up your thing.
Maybe you want to be a whip master. You have 2 whips.
I was thinking something based on like Sango from.
There's a
the,
Beastmaster Ranger, isn't there?
Yes, but
Yeah.
It's so bad. It's not good.
it's not good.
We can make it
I'll let
good.
you know that, unfortunately.
You could be a monk. You could punch people.
Oh, yeah, we don't have a monk.
That's true.
You can ask Pan all about monks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cool.
we die.
Even dead ones.
They go down in combat once per combat.
All right.
Wow, it's like me playing Elden Ring. I went down every time. I was like, I'm gonna die once, at least once.
All right.
All right. Getting into our session, last time, our intrepid adventurers made their way across the seas to Kazur's home, where they are to meet one of his contacts who apparently has information about a religious artifact or something that they discovered in the bowels of Istalia. Through tribulation and trials on the sea, fighting some pirates and sinking their ship and encountering some necromancer of great power.
Their ship, not ours.
Their ship, the pirate's ship.
The pirate ship, yeah.
And even a dragon they found just sailing by himself, which was to all of their surprise. Made their way to the city, debarked the ship, and made their way in, where they almost ran into a old face and a recurring face for Kazur, but decided to avoid that interaction and made their way to Kazur's home, where they had a nice deep conversation of his past, his family, and what possibilities this city may hold. before retiring to the basement to clean up and sleep. So we come back in. It is the morning. Whoever would like to wake up first.
I just want to preface this. I'm sorry if you hear yelling in the background. My partner is currently playing Overwatch and he's really loud. Plays Overwatch.
Okay.
He and I got back into Overwatch again, and so now we've been like trying to practice and get back to being decent, and so he's in the back playing.
Nice.
That's if you hear yelling, we're not in trouble. It's just him playing.
We're not in trouble. Unless your full government name comes out, then we're in trouble. But anyway, you awake?
Yeah, I assumed I'd be probably waking up first and go ahead and prepping breakfast, as it is my home and they are my guests.
All right. Kazur wakes up first and begins preparing breakfast. Baron, you probably stir next to the smell of bacon and things being cooked.
That checks out.
Whale eggs.
Rosalie would probably
Whale.
also wake because she helped the night before to cook dinner because she was so excited. So if she's smelling food now, she has pleasant memories. She's gonna be like, I want to be a part of this. Let me help.
No.
What?
They sleep.
Why?
I'm joking. But you're in your room right now. I don't know you're awake.
Oh, I thought we were all sleep. Oh. For
Well,
some
I'm
reason
up.
There were two separate rooms downstairs that I think
Yeah,
they let the ladies
I'm
sleep
back
in.
up in the proper kitchen. Like I'm above y'all right
Oh,
now.
I forgot the structure of this house. Never mind. You guys do whatever.
I mean, you could climb up the stairs. Y'all, I'm literally cooking directly above y'all because the kitchen is directly located above the bedrooms down there.
I'm gonna get my staff, knock on the ceiling. Keep it down up there! Some of us are trying to get our rest!
Wait, we're in the same room, Ina and I, right?
Yeah, it was boys
Yeah,
and
shit.
girls separated.
Yeah.
Ina, is that really necessary?
Do I hear the staff knocking the floorboard beneath
Yeah.
me?
Yeah, given your passive everything, yeah, you hear it.
Okay. Do I know that it's a staff? Well, I could probably reason that it has to be a staff. There's nothing.
I mean,
else in the kitchen.
it's muffled. You hear a high-pitched voice, and you hear the clunk, clunk, and you're like, you can gather that it's Ina slapping something against the ceiling, floor, whatever you want to call it.
I'm gonna grab a loose pot and pan and drop it on the floor.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh wait, no. The pot hit the floor, so
Yeah, I made a shit ton of noise above y'all now.
Alright.
I get it. I should get up. Rosalind gets up and starts like cleaning. How about that? Cleaning herself, getting ready for the day.
Aina's just plotting revenge.
Baron's
Gonna plot
gonna go-
revenge in my house where I have traps and everything. Okay.
Revenge on your sleep cycle.
Hi, Goofin. Hello.
Goofin.
Hey, it's Goofin.
Oh my goodness, my cat won't stop coming up to my feet and biting it.
I was gonna say, aw.
I was gonna say her voice started out like it was a cute thing at first, and then it was biting it.
No biting.
Do you hear her?
I
Do
heard
you
that,
hear
yeah.
her? Yeah.
She's pissed.
She's pissed. Because she wants me to feed her, and I'm like, you have a timed feeder. Just wait.
Fair.
Bitch.
That's a good idea.
Baron's gonna go upstairs and sit himself at the. There's a dining room table, I assume, or a kitchen table
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, that's where we ate dinner last night.
Yes, he'll sit there.
There is a cold ale waiting for you.
Aw.
Wow. I love this place. It's great. He's just gonna sip it, smiling. Happy.
Ina's gonna go upstairs.
Okay, you all
Uh,
gather. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, You all gather upstairs. Breakfast is made. Ales are had. Kazur?
Ugh. All right. Well, here it is. We just got some bread with some honey on it, some eggs, bacon, traditional breakfast. Just the resources are from what's here. Got some berries and some other vegetables for you as well, Ina.
Ooh,
Coming along with the honey bread. You eat honey, right?
no.
Wait, what? Honey's a no-go?
Are you asking in real life or?
It's kind
it's
of
made
both
by
at
an-
this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say no for honey.
It's made by an animal, so
By
it's
bees.
against. Yeah. But it doesn't harm the bees, I guess. I don't know.
It does because you have to take the honey that they use to store up for winter, and then they make them overproduce it, and then they feed them sugar water so that they can
Fair enough.
overproduce
I-
it. It's a log. It's a
That's
lot.
that's fair
Gotcha.
enough. That's fair enough.
Well, I have non-honeyed bread as well.
Okay.
Bread.
Sorry. But yes,
See,
she's gulping it, and she's
Actually,
pissed
it's
off.
honey grass. It's not actually bees here. It's honey grass.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna gulp it, but I'm gonna like side eye
Plant
you a little
makes the
bit.
honey here.
Thank you.
You look at the honey. It's actually like a yellow blade of grass. It's just very sweet.
Yum. Can I think I could have a little jar of this?
They don't keep very long like traditional honey.
Oh,
Because they're so sweet. They kind of. It's like you kind of have it right. It's like a. Y'all have avocados where y'all are from?
yeah.
it's an avocado.
I'm calling it
we-
right now. Avocados are very popular where Baron is from. And he loves
Okay,
them.
so elf culture. Elf culture has avocados.
Okay. If elf culture has avocados, then Rosaline has had avocados.
You know how those don't stay ripe very long? Like they're
Yeah.
just like, they wow, I can't eat this yet. I have to buy it now, and then you forget about it, and then damn it, I have to throw it away. Yeah, it's kind of like that.
All right. Well, I'll enjoy it while I have it.
So what's the plan today?
Well, now we're gonna go see Marowak. Wait, Masarawak.
Oh. Yes.
Not Marowak, not the Pokemon. Masarawak.
Oh, you're gonna travel up to Masarawak?
Wait, no,
That's
that's
a
the
place.
city.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what's the guy's name? I thought that was his name. Damn it, I can't remember these guys'
I
names.
probably wrote it down.
Ignatius.
Ignatius.
I did not.
More
write
like
that down.
Iglesias.
Guy
Fucking right, Ina.
writing this down.
Sing to me. What's his name? Gabriel. That's it?
Ignatius.
And-
Yeah, Gabriel
and
Iglesias. Actor, or not comedian. All right, so, well,
Oh, he's a comedian, not a singer. Oh, okay, yeah, I know.
we should, I guess we're going to go get, what's his name, and go, figure out this stone shit.
I'm
There
here
you are.
as well. Just fit in the corner.
Did you eat?
I took a few scraps when you guys weren't paying attention to me at all, so
I forgot about him.
Jeez.
Do you want,
I actually
like,
Rose takes a sip of her tea and goes, I kind of forgot about that one.
sleep well?
you look at him and you can see his eyes are like bloodshot, and he's like
No.
he's like kind of like nodding off while he's standing there. Not particularly, but the bottle helped for a little while.
Sleep potion.
Maybe we'll find you
Deck
some
smell.
separate
I
quarters.
think I
here.
heard some ghosts rummaging through your room while you were asleep.
I heard that too. It's just quite terrifying.
Rose starts laughing because she's just bullshitting.
I'll lean over to Rose and whisper, that was probably the rats. But,
You have
Wait,
rats
there's
too?
here?
God. This place is awful. Why are we here? Oh, yes. Can we go see your men, please?
Yes, that's the plan, but I would rather you be a little more presentable to him and not falling asleep standing up.
Well, I can at least appear more presentable for him. He snaps his finger and you watch as his form and everything change so that he looks to be in much better order.
Would I know if would Ignatius see right through that? I feel like he would immediately see through the illusion.
Ignatius, you know, he is a wielder of the arcane, but he's kind of scatterbrained. So if he took the time to if he took the time to focus on it, then he probably would see through it. But you doubt,
He doesn't give enough of a fuck.
given the
to
importance
see.
of what he has, he'll probably want to pay more attention to that than the person.
Yeah. All right, that's good enough for me. Everyone ready? We're good to sit off. Yeah, we're going.
Let me
Flesh.
don my armor on before we go, but yes.
Remind me, is Ignatius currently at top of the mountain?
Oh, and my bad, it's Ignacio. No, he has his own lab in the basement of your main building.
Stop. You will eat when the food gives you food.
Mine is currently next to me giving me kitty cat eyes as well.
Ignacio.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to my headquarters.
Also,
so-
yeah, his full name is Ignacio B. My God, I can't read my own handwriting. Beamer, Beameer, known as Ick.
Ignacio. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say known as Icky for short.
Keys to my bima.
Ignacio Beamer. Boom, he's a BMW.
Boom, he's a BMW.
I'm gonna do blessing of the
Beamir.
forge on. Would it work on Ina? Like her armor?
Oh, there might be an H in that. That it was Beamir.
It's Beameer. That's what I have written down after I learned how to read it.
Is your armor magical?
I was gonna say, as long as it's, oh yeah, it's +2, so.
Yes, sir?
No,
I
it's
think
not.
it's
You,
Your-
Galbina, you have leather
My
armor
leather?
+2.
That's magic?
yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
+2.
Oh, really? The +2 is adding magic. I thought it was just making it more sturdy.
Well, it's enchanted to be more resilient to damage. That's what the,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
She does have a non-magical quarterstaff, though.
True.
Yeah, I think you
But
all
I don't
have.
use it. I use the staff of woodlands.
Rose has magic armor on too.
Hers does not count as magic. We do.
I will bump hers up.
Alrighty. That's what. All right, so Rose dons her armor after Baron takes his time, kind of blessing it with the powers of his god. Dexmal finishes eating and goes to collect his things, and you all regather at the entrance of the house and begin making your way through the city streets. It's a bit more bustling today and not quite as drab as whenever you guys got in. The sun is out. People are meandering about the streets, going shop to shop, selling their wares and peddling their wares. You do not hear the shouts of your old friend, the pet dealer, or whatever you want to call him. Perhaps he moved on to a different section of the city or moved on to a different city on his own. Yes?
Did we remember if he saw Ina? Like, was I always a cat, or did I be transformed back? Like,
He saw you as you
bought-
when you transferred the cat.
no, I didn't
You
buy anything.
bought something. You bought something from him, didn't he? Oh yeah. So no, he's never seen you because you were a cat during that whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, wasn't I?
I thought she walked up with us and then transformed into a cat later. To talk
No, I
to
think I
her.
stayed into a cat, and I was talking to your dog as a cat.
Yeah, she was investigating all of the animals.
When she peed on Ben,
What level are
'cause
we? 13.
You should be level 13 right now, yeah.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
But you make your way to the entrance to the Hall of Dalvincia. Where?
Before we left, I would have said I took my pendant out from inside my cloak, and I kind of redo it to where my pendant is outwardly facing now, and I've pulled my cloak above my head.
Okay.
A little more
You should-
discreet and just
yeah.
let the symbol do the talking.
I was gonna say put a blanket around your feet.
I
All right.
got a blanket over my feet and around a cat that I'm holding it right now because she's being mean.
All right. You make your way to the entrance. As you do, a couple of figures dressed in similar clothing to Kazur, not exactly the same, but similar, kind of step forward as you approach. But upon seeing the emblem on Kazur's throat, simply give a nod forward and step back into the shadows where they were. As you enter, it's a simple hall. Definitely more lavish than the houses and markets that you've passed through, but not anything gaudy or extravagant. Stone hall, like main hall that you walk into where people are kind of standing about having conversations, exchanging notes and or ledgers. A few offshoot rooms that have people sitting at desks that appear to be taking care of business of the city of some sort. And stairs that there are two probably 10-foot wide sections of stairs that begin leading upstairs and two sections that begin leading downstairs.
I'm making sure they are all following me.
Are you all following him?
Just stay
I am.
close.
Okay.
Do not get lost in here, please. We will proceed downstairs to my main man, Icky.
All right.
Bless you.
Bless you.
As you continue in, Kazur comes to the stairs and kind of stops and looks back to make sure you guys are all with him and nobody has gotten sidetracked. Oh,
We lost.
we lost one.
Uh-oh.
There she is.
A fallen soldier.
She was probably having a sneezing fit or something. It was just like, nobody needs to hear this. But anyway.
Damn.
I get it. I was like that for 2 weeks. He stops and turns around to make sure you all are with them. After seeing that you all have gathered at the top of the stairs, begins making his way downward. Leads you into a bit of a more drab area as the sounds of the city begin to fall away. Just suddenly, instantly, just like that.
Oh. I'm gonna turn behind me.
That is not the sound that I wanted.
No,
Um,
not it. Icky is the big bad evil again.
Forget, wait, what's this
Welcome
sound?
to my land.
No, he always plays these other extravagant too. It's part of his work.
It's the Phantom of the Opera storyline. Like, okay. So he takes you downstairs. It's a bit more drab down here and much darker. There are a few torches lit every 15 feet or so that give just enough light to pass through. But every now and then, Kazur disappears from your guys' sight before stepping back into the light and becoming visible again. It's odd and it's taking some getting used to. Slowly but surely you're getting used to it, but it's still strange for you guys.
Probably very off-putting, honestly. Like, we're following this guy. Wait, where'd he go? Oh, there he is.
Oof.
You continue making your way down a hallway before you come to a large wrought iron door, probably about 25 foot tall and about 12 to 16 feet wide, and is just solid black metal. There's a small window that stands about eye height with Kazur, maybe a little bit lower. Baron, you are not able to see through it. Ina, you're not able to see through it. Kazur and Rose, you're the only ones who can. Seeing through the grates of this, it's almost like jail cell window. There is another slab of wrought iron behind it. As you approach it, opens up. Rose, make a perception check for me real quick.
Me?
Yeah. Because this is Kazur's place. He knows what it's all about, but this is new to you.
15.
I feel like
15.
if they were able to see something that Ina couldn't, I would go up behind Bear and just go Moink and try and see anyway.
Make a dexterity check for me real quick, so if you can see this before it goes away.
Me?
No, Ina, because she's jumping onto Baron's shoulders. I'm assuming you're letting it happen, Baron.
Just a normal check?
Yeah.
Think.
Okay. Yeah, just a check.
Literally
You're probably
playing
used to her just
leapfrog.
bouncing around.
Or 11.
10?
It's 11.
Okay, that's not a difficult DC. It was just to see if you could see up there, and your passive perception is good enough. You don't have to make a perception check. But the two of you, as you hear this open up, Ina climbs up on Baron's shoulders to try and get a better look. Rose and Baron, you see a faint glint of what appears like two yellow lights. They're eyes. You guys can make out that they're two yellow eyes that are kind of the only thing that alight in this dark space beyond the door. And it opens the thing and then closes it almost immediately, and you hear and the door begins to open. This door opens and there is another chamber that's about 70-ish feet wide and 100-ish feet long. Two long wooden tables stretch either side of it with chairs. It appears that this is some sort of meeting hall that doesn't get used frequently. As the chairs are kind of left there, there's dust gathered on the table, but looks like it's a fairly well defendable point that can house a fair number of people if the time may call for it.
Ina's gonna slip down from Baron, look at him, pat him on the back, and go and start walking.
Okay.
So this is what, like a 25-foot ceiling underground here?
Yeah, it is a
Some
very large
massive
room. Yeah. As you enter the room,
We're in a fortress, boys and girls.
Place is quite large.
so the two of you saw the yellow glint of eyes that appeared in the window of the door. As you enter this room and kind of look around, there's a torch lit in every corner, so it is a well-lit room. And it appears that somebody is down here usually, but as you look around, there is no trace of what those yellow glints came from, and you're not entirely sure what that was, but Kazur's leading you. He's not led you wrong thus far.
Kazul, did you have a cat? Does this person have a cat?
It wasn't a cat, if that's what your question is.
There is something. That's for damn sure. Oh, so you guys say this room's really big. It's not that big to me. It's a little big.
Rosalind goes, I also saw something.
So I would know that that's okay, this is me as a player guessing that wasn't actually Icky, but some guardian of some kind.
Your people are very well good at staying hidden when they need to.
Okay, so I know it was Icky.
It's not Icky. No. It's not Icky. It's one.
just
It's a
another
shade.
guard.
It's one of the shade stalkers. Yeah, that is.
Okay.
There's always one posted down here, and they know how to stay hidden when they need to, and usually stay hidden in this environment.
Okay. That was not a cat, I assure you. And it
Come
was
here,
not the men we're looking. You don't want that kitty to come near you.
Really? I could
Well,
handle
Well,
it.
we have seen Kazor disappear in the shadows before. Well, you guys have. I still can see him. That might be just something like that. Like him.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
do realize, Rose, I could destroy those goggles very quickly if I ever wanted you to not see me. But it's pretty beneficial for you too at this point. So
I don't understand why you are making such a threat. I'm on your side.
You hear the door close
I'm
behind you
literally
guys now.
shouting out right now in front of the guy. Like I gotta I'm glaring at her to play along, trying to give just play along with it. I'm trying to intimidate you. Not really, but there's a guy watching us right now, so I need to make sure he knows that we're not buddy.
Well, Ina's
Make an
gonna go,
insight check, Rose.
See if you pick up on what I'm saying.
I think when Ina hears the door slam, she's gonna look back and be like,
I
you
don't. I'm
Uh-oh.
7.
eh.
I don't pick that up.
You pick up that Kazur's looking at you funny, but you don't know why.
Did I say something weird?
Anyway, let's keep going.
Are you sure we're welcome here? Looking at the door.
You're, as long as you stay with me, I wouldn't say welcome's the word, permitted.
Enough.
So, let's keep going. And I keep going the pathway through that meeting hall, the defensive meeting hall room, and continue on to
All right.
another door across the way, which I'm assuming there's another downward staircase.
There is
perhaps?
indeed. You go to the other side of the room, and against the left wall of the room in the corner, there is another door. This one's much simpler. It's just a standard wooden door with iron hinges and metallic reinforcement of some sort. So it's a strong door, but it's not the wrought iron cage that you just went through. And as you approach, this one is unlocked. Kazur just kind of opens it, and you see a stairwell descending downwards. It goes down 15 or 20 steps, and Kazur, you stop, and you look back at everybody, and you take one big step and get down 3 steps at once before reaching the landing where it kind of cuts back to go down some more. And you kind of look at everybody. You don't say anything because you know. The rest of you see this, and it's easy enough. Rose can just step over it, similar to how Kazur does. Ina and Baron, you kind of have to jump and get caught by Rose a little bit. Just to get down those 3 steps. Uppies. But you continue down the stairs. It goes down another 25, 30, 40 steps before you come to a very nice metal door. Baron, you would recognize this as forged iron. Like, not just wrought cast iron that somebody poured out quickly. Somebody spent time and a lot of money for a very strong, near impenetrable door. There's a long slat of metal on this side, and as Kazur kind of slides it and opens this side of the door, knocks a certain pattern of knocks, and kind of turns around to you guys and leans on the door, just waiting expectantly. A few moments pass. You guys start to hear some ticking and some scraping of metal, and then you hear the other side opens. Kazur stands up straight, pushes the door open. Standing before you is a gnome, actually. A little bit shorter than Ina, with frazzled brunette brown hair just scraggled out everywhere. Big bottle or Coke bottle glasses kind of stuck in front of the face. A long pointed nose as opposed to the bulbous noses that you're used to from Ina's home. He's got tattered robes on, not torn to shreds, but patched with leather in places, and seems like he keeps himself as best order as he can. However, as the door opens, a waft of must and mold and just that general old smell comes wafting out of the room. Oh, Kazur. I have news. Come. And he kind of scurries off into the room.
I feel like this is going to excite Ina.
Believe, Icky, before, did you not notice their guests?
You see the frazzled brunette hair pop up behind a stack of scrolls and books on a table nearby. You hear pop, 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 and he runs back around, kind of gets up to Baron and looks. Goes to Rose.
Bip, bip.
Looks at Ian. Oh, another gnome. Looks at Dexmal. Tilts his head.
You'll be quite interested in that one.
What is Dex Mel again? Is he a...
He's human.
He's a human.
Oh, he
Remember,
is. Oh.
I described him vaguely like Snape, and you guys just
He looks
decided
like
that he
Snape.
looks like Snape.
Okay, I kept picturing like a blue guy.
Or Alan
Or like
Rickman,
a
I guess we
purple
should say. But
Like a dark elf? I was also picturing a dark elf from Skyrim for some reason. He just got that vibe about him.
Okay.
This whole time I was like, that's Snape.
He's like, he's not a drow though. But yeah, Snape.
well, good to meet, dwarf. two humans, gnome. I, Ignacio Bemir,
Good God.
is my name. Welcome to the study. I have many wonderful things to share with you, Kazura.
Should they sit in your little lounge area that I know you don't keep up that well with, but
I could sit, sure. Yeah, sit. Yes, come.
It's like, probably a couch that he's keeping a bunch of fucking books on. Like, it's just
So-
like not really a kept place.
As you guys now enter this room, your noses have kind of adjusted to this musty, dank smell. You see it is probably about 120-foot long room and about 40 or 50 feet wide. And it's just a hoarding mess of scrolls, books, drawings, antiquities of sorts just scattered and thrown about. Shelves are just cluttered with anything you can imagine. Tables are piled high with scrolls. In fact, as you kind of walk by, a piece of armor or a cloak catches a piece of, like a scroll, and some of them go falling to the ground. He leads you over to the middle of the room, which is like a more empty section. It looks like this is maybe where he brings stuff to lay them out and look at them, and then takes them and throws them some other place. You're not entirely sure. But he's like, hi, looking around. Hi. And he kind of waves his arms in an upward motion, and you just watch books and scrolls go like kind of like a geyser, just all over the place. But there is a semblance of a couch there. It's much more. It looks kind of like Ina's cloak if it was a couch, tattered with pockets everywhere, and probably doesn't offer the most support, but it's somewhere to sit down.
Everyone just stay here while I have this conversation with my colleague here.
Dex Mal kind of walks over to the couch, kind of picks at the cloth for a second, and it's like, I'll stay, thank you. Or stand, not stay. Stay, I'll stay, but I'm gonna stand. Not
But
sit.
at least stay. I don't want to have to kill you.
I
I thought
Sorry.
Dex Mal turned into a goat there for a second.
Did too.
All right, so Dex is just kind of nervously standing next to the couch. What are the three of you doing as Kazura kind of steps away for a second to talk to Icky?
Climb up onto the couch and let his feet kind of dangle like a toddler sitting on a couch.
I feel like it's
Okay.
a gnome-sized couch, so your feet wouldn't dangle. We could just
Right.
really low for the rest of us.
Yeah,
Right.
Rose is looking at the couch like, that's a little too small.
He sits very comfortably.
Rose looks around. Is there anything interesting in the room to look at?
Make a perception check.
Seven.
A 7.
Yeah.
You're almost, not almost, you're overwhelmed with the amount of things to look at in this room. You say interesting, but that can, be subjective. But as someone who's new to this world, has not experienced everything that they have to offer, you're looking around and there are sculptures of people and things that you've never seen before. There's books with covers with emblems and crests that you've never seen before. There's scrolls that are written in languages that you don't know. And there's just a vast spattering of things, and you're kind of just caught off guard and almost in a state of shock of information that you could bring in here. So you do see things, though you're not entirely sure where to start.
Okay, so I'll say Rose is standing there kind of just like scanning the room while like twisting her signet ring out of like nervousness, I guess. She's just like kind of playing with it because she's like, what is going on? There's so much going on.
Baron, as you sit down on the couch, the bottom falls out from under you.
Oh, shit.
So you sit down, you're kind of sitting there, and then it goes. Now you're in a recliner.
I will just stay.
You might be comfortable in the hold, you might be just like sitting in it perfectly.
Turns
Ina's
out
gonna
there-
get. Oh. Oh, Ina's gonna see that and get some books and like set them up like a chair. I
Okay.
mean, bop, 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 bop,
Oh, true.
for Baron.
Here we go. We can put the couch onto book legs.
Yeah.
There we go. We'll assemble a seat.
Okay. Kazur, you step away with Icky as he kind of scurries behind another pile of books. Yes, I found this. I found this. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's so good. Good information. Good information. We love it. We love it. We love it. Okay. Why did you bring them here again?
What? Okay, how about you tell me what you found first,
Okay,
and I'll
okay.
explain. You seemed pretty passionate about the news that you needed to tell me.
It is good. Okay, I have to remember what I told you now. What do you remember from what I told you in your like description?
Oh, Icky was researching into the keys and that the demons. He saw what was it? He was studying in the Froth-Made Isles, and he saw like some sort of sign about the demons or the devils returning. Because what we're dealing with devils, not demons, correct?
Yeah.
That the devils were playing some sort of thing, so he was looking into that, and then he's like, "Yo, there's some keys we need."
Okay.
Is what I recall.
Okay. I have found where the locks are, which is wonderful, great, good, wonderful, great, and what
That's good to know.
the keys look like, which is also wonderful, good, great. Doesn't help
Oh,
us
I
in
know.
finding them.
Well, I know what the keys look like already. If they're all the same,
But they're not all the same. What do you mean the keys look? What do you mean you know that the keys look?
We have a key.
You can see an
Oh.
eyelid twitching through the big old Coke bottle glasses in front of his eyes. You have a key?
Well, the freaking dreary emo boy looking one over there is the one with the key. He doesn't let us touch
Is
it.
emo a thing in this world?
My
Yeah.
era has evolved a bit more. You know, we have some people who are like, I can't with the monarchy anymore. God. You know, we got a little bit of style over
This
here.
sounds like an anarchist.
Anyway, emo anarchists, they're all the same, you know.
They're not.
No.
No way. Yeah, but do whatever you want, sir.
We're lore building. We're world building right now.
Right.
So, well, you know how I was set to scout out some new regions that we believed may have appeared randomly, correct?
Of course, of course, of course.
There are, in fact, 4 continents. Very small. Like, we would probably call them islands, but to them, they call them. Those 4 individuals are from them. They're entire civilizations and cities and empires that live there.
Intriguing. Go on.
Have their own history and lore. Here's some books that I've actually taken from some of their archives for you. I thought you might be interested in reading what they thought. They appear.
I do love books. He kind of puts them in a satchel to his side.
They appear to have the same belief of origin of the Froth-Made Isles as us, but to them, they had no access to the Froth-Made Isles.
Intriguing.
like
That
a
does lay
long
into some of the research I've done.
One of those 4 continents is completely uninhabited and eviscerated in destruction. I don't know if they destroyed it themselves. I can't remember. Oh, no, what it was they killed off all the dragons that lived off of the planets.
Man, you
All of
really
them?
trust this guy.
All of well, the major ones. Apparently, there are a few in those continents left alive. From the laws that I read, it looks like there are 2 dragons left alive, but they stay very quiet, very isolated.
I would very much like to go see this place. But anyway.
They're a bit behind technologically and in their studies compared to more
Very
guess a year ago as
interesting.
Anyhow, these three, well, not the woman warrior, the dwarf, and the gnome, have effectively already been fighting this fight for us. They're the ones that secured the key, along with a former ally of theirs. They're already in the fight for us. And, the
Well,
dwarfs
bonus.
serves, the dwarf serves Moradin. He's been sharing his faith to the warrior as well, and she's starting to believe in Moradin as well.
Good, good,
So
good.
they serve the gods as well. And they're already in the fight, so.
That is a
set
positive.
Yes, I set alliances with them. The other human, Dexmal, they acquired the key and he stole the key from them, but then he was told by Bahamut himself that he had to return herself. That he had to return, and so now he's been hanging with us, but he's keeping the key in a very safe extra dimension space.
Yes, of course. Why would you not keep it there? That's the most safe place for things like that.
But he'll only release
But
the
the
key
god-
to you after you provide, that you show that you know a lot of knowledge, essentially.
So, not only are they religious, but they talk to their gods.
Yes.
Very intriguing.
I've actively, I don't think, wait, has Kazur seen Moradin actually do something? I know, I don't know, Scalefound saw all the events of Moradin actually, sending warriors down, all of these events, but has Kazur seen any of that?
I mean, you've seen Baron's magic, but you haven't seen the same
I haven't
events
seen,
that...
the crazy stuff that's
Yeah.
happened. Okay. I've heard stories of their gods sending warriors down to defend them, and things like that too. There's been some quite strong interventions.
But didn't
Yeah.
you see my god in the tree too?
I went through that shitty trial that was bullshit where we almost got mobbed to death.
Guys just kept hitting them.
We
Well, at least they're already fighting with us. Now, and his voice gets real low. How much do we trust them?
Can Ina try and listen in? Sneak over.
Roll a stealth check.
Okay.
I would assume that we're keeping an eye on y'all the entire time to make sure it's a private
And you haven't been talking this loud the entire time either. You're also behind walls of books and scrolls, which kind of muffle everything. So if she wants to sneak up and try and get a better perception on what you're doing, then she's rolling a stealth check to do that. What'd you say?
14.
Okay. As Icky kind of leans in and whispers that you hear a small like a cat walking down a hardwood floor in the night, just little of feet.
I feel like Ina isn't sneaking, but she's like, I'm just gonna look at the book over here. Maybe
That's
that
fine. I
one
never
or-
said he saw anything. He heard your feet moving closer.
As soon as I hear a sound, I'm gonna look to investigate.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
I'm reading the book. Make good looks.
Roll a deception check there, Brando.
Okay.
Oh God, you are not passing this, baby. 26.
26. So you see Ina.
I got natural 20 though.
You see Ina standing a couple of quote unquote aisles away with a book in her hand, just kind of standing there, puts it down, picks up another one, opens a scroll. She's standing there, seemingly just going through the paperwork and books of the area.
How far is she from where the rest of them are standing at this point?
I feel like I would be inching maybe a foot every
She's
2 minutes.
She's 12 to 15 feet away from the others. Baron, you glance over and you see Baron is currently finishing the chair made of books that Ina and him started. And and Rose is kind of like her mouth is open and she's just like jaw dropped aghast at everything in the
Yeah.
room.
What are you doing?
What? Oh, I
What are
didn't
you
even know
doing?
you were there. I'm reading a book about. No. I'm gonna look. What is this about?
What of the book you can't even read? What if it's in another language you can't even read?
Such interesting types of writing. I've never seen characters that look quite like this before.
You you say that and you close it and look at the title. Just you're like, what's this called again? You look at the front. Trials and Tribulations of the Monks of Bahamut.
I'm just trying to learn about this god we're always talking about.
Can you continue reading back over there with the rest of them?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, how did I get over here? Oh, sorry.
You know,
And I'll go back.
you're pushing it. I'll
I mean-
say that.
You don't know that she was lying, by the way. She natural 20 in her
That's
deception, so
True, I believe her, but
Yeah.
I'm also I know her prior behavior. I'm just like, you should know how this works.
Well, I was just interested. I was just looking. I'm sorry.
It's
Right.
fine. Read the book over there.
I take the book over. Immediately put it into the chair because I don't care about it.
okay. You
Go
turn
back
back,
to-
you turn around and Icky's got his hand up like in a snapping motion, like he's he's ready to cast a spell. You don't know what spell, but he's ready to cast a spell. And he's got the glasses like slid down his nose and he's like,
No, Icky, we can trust them. I hope you didn't have a kill spell in mind.
"No, I was just going to get out of here."
Oh no, they're not that. They're not as. I literally saved their life in the last fight. They're good warriors. Could use some tuning up, but
Can I smell Kazur huffing his own farts over there?
It's too musty. Everything's just too dank down here. It all just smells like farts.
Alright.
no, you wouldn't be in any danger. They're truly the danger is that they're just really curious, and they have a knack for
Curiosity
poking.
is one of the most dangerous things.
Oh, I'm sure you know, Icky. I'm sure you're well experienced in that lesson.
Well, let's go see what they have to say, shall we? I would very much like to talk to that emo. Did you call him wizard? Very intrigued by that.
Can we retcon that? I wish I never said that. Retcon that.
No. It's
All
canon.
right.
It's emo.
So Icky returns, Kazur slowly following in tow, and stands before all of you. Baron, you're up on your throne of words.
Reading.
Your reading chair. Yes, Ina?
Because she sees him with his glasses, she kind of thinks he looks cool, so she's gonna get her eyes of charming and pop them from off her head onto her eyes. Not use them, but just I want to look cool.
All right. I do like those. Very pretty glasses.
Yeah.
Boy. So, welcome to my study. What would you like to know?
Your number. Just kidding.
My?
Ina ain't into him. I rolled already.
There
Oh,
ain't
actually,
even
I
numbers
need
in
to
this
roll.
world.
Your stone
Oh.
number?
Oh my god, how?
It holds true, baby.
I feel like Rose is just into some. You're into the most unorthodox things.
She is extremely repressed.
It all
Rose
makes sense.
Rose puts her hands over her mouth and is just like trying to hide her face as she's like, "Oh my, I've never seen a gnome this attractive."
It also is literally old smelling. Like the must in the room is him, not.
Let me roll to see if Rose, if it's above 10, then she knows that.
Oh,
She'd be like, I can
God.
fix him.
She doesn't know that.
I can fix him.
Dex Mal kind of speaks up from the back. Ha! Yes, hello, Dex here. Who and what exactly are you? Yes, good question. Ignacio, like we said before. One of lead scribes down here, not the, I gotta remember what the thing is called. Where did the paper go? Not the eyes, but one of her lead researchers, and, currently focused on my own mission of, godly and fiendish and, everything of the otherworldly, renditions. Very much reading, as you can tell, been done.
He's
Dex
the
smells like,
individual you're giving the key to, Dex.
possibly. If they both kind of like make eye contact and have this really long moment, awkward moment of just looking at each other. If he's not too obtuse, and he's just kind of like moving his head around as Ignacio and him have eye contact. And he looks up at you, Kazura. He's quite a strange one, isn't he?
He's eccentric. Is the best.
Eccentric.
Yeah,
I like that word. Big
passionate
word.
and
Good job.
eccentric.
Yes, that's me. I like the keys. I've learned about the keys. I know many things about the keys. Would you like to know about the keys? Do you guys know about the keys? What do you know of the keys?
When he says, do you guys want to know about the keys? Ian's go, tell us what you know.
Yes. I will give a brief summary of what I am aware of and what I've researched and what I've come across. Wonderful things, big things, wonderful things. And then perhaps me and the wizard can talk more of the in-depth arcane nature of individually sourced materials that I've discovered. As no offense, might be above your arcane knowledge, ability, and or understanding.
You don't know what's going on in this noggin.
You are completely correct in all of that assumption. Yes.
I'm afraid I know too much about what's going on in noggins, especially my own. Now, what I know is, he goes into a description. I'm not going to do his hyperactive voice for all of this because that would exhaust me. Let me see where this starts at. All right. Basically, they're going to get the information that you've already got, Kazur. So, and you guys may know some of this because you've found information during other parts of the adventures, but there's going to be a lot. During the divide, 3 domains gathered for their final time to lock 3 of the more powerful and treacherous of the holy, or not holy, but godly figures away. However, you cannot destroy what has always existed, and they placed locks in place to lock these entities away. Recently, the Da Vincian Order has been researching after getting wind that a key had been uncovered as a religious artifact that was being housed in the Frothmaid Isles. The Order then made their way to claim that key under their premise, to which it was, and the Order had obtained it, I believe, if I'm reading this right. Yes. Ignacio, or Icky, is the expert. He's the one who researched all this, obviously. They are all 3D polygons of some sort, some reminiscent of pyramids, some as diamonds, others as flat-edged orbs, though they've never been seen. That is just the only description they can gather is 3-dimensional polygon shape. The artifacts do not directly tie to the other planes, but rather something that needs to be deciphered. And it informs you that he now knows the location of the locks and what the keys look like, though does not know where the keys are exactly, except for the one that they have and possibly the one that Dex has.
And there's 4, right?
Yes, there are 4.
So we got half of them. Boom.
Do you have any drawings or and anything that we could see to see what the other 2 might look like?
I don't. I've only just very recently discovered what the descriptions were, and they were in a very ancient text, written in a very unknown ancient tongue that took many days to decipher, and I have not had the opportunity to try and artistically interpret what the material means. But as soon as I do, I will inform you.
Do you have anything with this writing on it?
The ancient language?
Yeah.
Possibly. 1 second. I'll be right back. And Papa kind of scurries off into the nethers of this area.
Primordial language. Probably a non-language for us.
So he's gone for a few minutes. Is there anything you guys would like to do in the meantime?
Questions, concerns, anyone thus far?
Not really. I mean, he's given us what we want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for plant books. I guess that's what I'll do.
Plant books? Okay. Roll an investigation check.
I will let you know now, Ina, there is no organization here.
I'm used to that. It's not a problem.
Is it a gnome thing? Oh, you know what Rose says that. Is this a gnome?
I got another natural 20. I'm using to even on 20, 23.
Perhaps. I don't think so, though. Just eccentric personality thing.
You go to the shelf behind where the couch is that Baron fell through and then made his reading chair next to. You begin kind of scanning the shelf, and about 4 or 5 shelves up the wall, as you're kind of looking through the bindings and the books, you see one. It has a green binding on it with red lettering that says carnivorous and voracious plants of the immediate area. You're not entirely sure what the immediate area is of the book, but
Can I reach it?
yeah, you'd be able to reach it. You may have to climb up like one shelf, but you don't have a problem with that.
Okay, I'm gonna take it,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna look at it quickly before he gets back. I'm gonna look at it, and before he gets back, I'm gonna quickly sneak it in my bag.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. I have the gloves of thievery.
My passive perception is up.
+5 to sleight of hand checks. Uh, 15.
15.
Is that with the thing?
What'd you roll?
Like, I rolled a 9, and
Mhm.
then my sleight of hand is +6. But if maybe let me take the gloves of thievery off. Does that go away? Yes, it does. Okay, it's 15. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Kazur, you watch, or you don't necessarily watch, but as Ina kind of steps down from grabbing this book, you see her look at it, open it for a second, and then begin to slide it into a pouch on her cloak.
Ina.
What?
Oh, what did you just take?
What are you talking about?
I visibly saw you just stash something away.
No, I took a book out of my backpack. I looked
That's
at it and I
not-
put it back.
Not true at all.
Well, you know what? I came across the world for you. I'm allowed to have a plant book. Look at all these books. He's got enough. Okay.
Just read it and then ask the man for the book. He'd probably give it to you.
What
He
if he
has
says
nothing.
no?
He has no care in the world about a plant book.
Could be a very good
You don't
plant book.
know. It could be his favorite bedtime book.
I know this man. He doesn't care about a plant book. He probably read what he needed out of it long ago.
If that's what you think I should do,
Weibo!
I'm gonna take it out.
Okay.
And
Long time no see.
I'm gonna keep it in my hands now. And then if he doesn't, I'm gonna be like, if he doesn't give it to me, that's 2 strikes today.
How was that a strike? It's his book.
Yeah, but I could have gotten away with stealing it.
Yeah, it was stealing from my order.
Yeah, that I'm working for free.
You're not working for... Okay.
Plap, 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 plap. He comes running back in. An old kind of half-torn scroll in his hand that's kind of folded up as opposed to rolled up, and kind of like hands it to you in like a crumpled mess. Ah, yes, yes, this is the language, not the text with the descriptions, but with the language of what it was written in. What?
Can I just look at it?
It is not Common, Dwarvish, or Elvish.
I'll take a gander.
Can I cast identify on it?
I don't think that works with...
If it's got some sort of magic to it?
You get to know what it is, even if it's a non-magical item, but I don't think you get to know what language it's
I'm not
written.
saying it's gonna decipher it. I just want to.
So you cast Identify on it?
Sure.
Okay, you cast Identify. It is not magical. You know what languages you speak?
Common, Druidic, Gnomish, and Orc.
Doesn't look familiar to anything you're aware of.
You speak orc?
Guess I'll take a gander.
What languages do you speak?
Abyssal, Celestial, Common, Draconic, Infernal, and Thieves' Cant.
Okay. Doesn't look familiar to you at all.
Can we look too? Can we all
Yeah.
try to look?
Yeah.
Rose and
Dex,
Dex.
take a glance.
Elvin and you on T.
Doesn't look familiar to you guys.
Primordial, I fucking knew it.
Dex looks over.
It's gonna be deep speech.
He kind of looks at it.
Dex can probably cast the spell to read it.
True. He is
Say
a
he-
wizard.
Glances at it, and his eyes his brow kind of furrows for a second. Bairn, I think you would be the only one to, or no, Eno would be the only one to see it
Oh,
because your passive perception is high enough. You watch as he kind of leans his head over Bairn's shoulder, his brow furrows, and you watch as his eyes kind of change to this purplish greenish color, and then flash back to his normal color of eyes. Sylvan, really? Interesting. Don't see much of that.
Sylvan. What is Sylvan?
isn't like Fae?
Mm-hmm.
It's Fae. It's like
It's
sister
Alright.
language of Druidic.
yeah,
Was it
it's
Sylvan?
it's like ancient Elven basically.
Was it Sylvan?
Yeah,
Was it
Sylvan.
language? Okay.
I didn't know a name for it, but good to know. Now I do. Maybe I can find somebody who actually speaks it, so I don't have to use spells all day to read it.
You can't read Sylvan though.
Obviously not.
What about you, Dex?
I
You know it is, but can you read it?
I can at the moment, but only for a short time, which is kind of the limitation of other languages not spoken by many people. This one appears to be some sort of recipe for venison. Why do you have this? I don't know. Just had the language, different language, couldn't read it. Figured it might be interesting, so I got it. Well,
Recipe book in Sylvan.
it's not even a book. It's just like a singular recipe for venison.
I mean, I guess it's a Rosetta Stone of some sort to help with translating eventually. Interesting.
It's don't worry about my.
So Dex, how are you going to go about trusting Icky here to give him the key to study?
Well, he has given some very good information thus far, but I feel maybe spending some, possibly, if you'd allow it, of course, looking very warily at you, Kazur, some more time, maybe alone time, so as to not overwhelm. And he kind of like looks at you with that look of like, there's a lot going on right now, and it might be better if
Intellectuals.
yeah, I was looking for a different word because like Rose is smart. Like the rest of you guys are smart, but it was just like dedicated intellectuals, like people who are on this one subject.
Scholars?
Yeah, I guess. But if we could just, together sit down and discuss some things.
Let me go about. I'll try to get you a little. I'll get you
A day pass.
Yeah, basically.
That's
a week
would.
stay. Inky, do you have room for him to stay?
If he
in
would
your
like to. It's
quarters?
mostly clean down here, but he's welcome to if you'd like. Dex kind of looks around. He gets real quiet. They're ghosts. Here? No ghosts. No ghosts. Of course not. No ghosts.
He knows about my dad, I'm assuming. Yeah, Inky would definitely know about my dad. But Inky probably served my dad and then
Yeah.
now serves me.
Yeah. Dex believes him, and you watch his shoulders kind of drop a little bit and breathe a little lighter or a little easier. Okay.
Well, technically there's one right now, but
Well, yes, cause yeah. Hi, Dad. But if it would be possible, I would prefer to stay. Many things to read in here as well. Could
So
indulge myself.
Dex, you're gonna let us know that you're just simply staying here.
if that is all right with you and your order. I don't want
It
to
will be.
step
we can
any
make it
bounds.
accommodated.
Of course.
Don't poke around.
I won't leave this room.
You can poke around in this room as long as you.
Yes, poke. Many things to read. Just
Not
no.
outside of this room.
Yes, and not in that corner over there. Don't go in that corner. Bad things. Don't read those bad things.
Ina.
Corn.
As soon as he said, "Do I know about that corner?"
You do, and it's there's
Cursed
a
object.
side of this room that is barred and locked off, and houses some cursed objects, some books of infernal make, and things of that sort.
Ina, I know you're curious. As soon as he said that, those
Nice.
books are cursed. You could die opening the page instantly.
What's life without a little risk?
That's
No,
not
I'm
risk,
joking.
that's stupidity.
I won't open any. I won't do it. I'm joking. By the way, I know you said poke around.
Yes.
I did a little poking around.
Yes, curiosity. Good.
You have this book here. It's about plants, and I love plants.
Yes.
there any
Oh,
way-
yes. Carnivorous plants. Yes, very fun. Very interesting. They do many things.
Could I take this book?
Yes, of course. I've read it many times, memorized up in my head. I could tell you the page number for some of those plants.
Do you have any more like this that you'd be willing to part with?
He's a bit spacey, but he's literally going through all of his brain of every book he's memorized ever at this point, which is a lot. You gotta narrow the scope of the question.
He's
down.
got like a little loading symbol.
I'm sure I could track some down. Many books in here, many pages, many scrolls. I could find something. Next time you come by, I'll have some more for you.
Thank you. Oh, I'd love that.
So, Icky, I guess on a technical level, you're somewhat a superior of mine. What is my next directive then?
You're asking
To go about,
Icky?
yeah, since now I've like delivered the key to him essentially, like I'm kind of waiting for a directive now.
Yes. I do believe I remember you saying that Skyreamer asked you to visit her after you delivered them and take them there. Perhaps that you go there next. I don't know. She's
I did
quite
see her. I did see her out on the water.
she's quite cryptic. Very clever, that one. I like her. You should see her more often. She should see us more often. Why didn't she come down? Oh, yes, that's why.
Yeah, there you go. Icky. There you go. They know. They already know, by the way. That's scary.
Yes, yes, yes. Very scary. Terrifying. Large. Very scary. I stay down here.
Icky, do you have any books on like blacksmithing in Delventia, or
Crafting intricacies. Yes, I have those. I have those. 1 second. I'll be right back. Ba, 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 ba. He runs off.
I feel like I should also ask for a book, but honestly, I'm not sure what I would want to read.
we could start a book club?
He comes back. Yes, two books. 2 books. I have 2. I have 2 books. This one is
Blacksmithing for dummies.
Whoa, hey-o.
his royalties. Majestic. I don't know what it says. I can't read it, and he hands it to you. You do recognize the writing on it. It is Dwarvish, and it says the royal crafting. Assuming it's some sort of ledger on things that were made for some royal family somewhere. And this one I haven't actually read this one. It looks interesting though, and it does speak of some things of small like intricate jewelry pieces and just trinket crafting and things of that sort. So perhaps interesting to you.
Yeah.
He hands it over to you, and it is literally called The Intricacies of Jewelry Making. And you kind of glance through the first few pages, and it gives it's it's written in common, but you there's a slight handwriting that leads you to believe that it was written in common by someone who normally writes Elvish, and knowing Elven handwriting fairly well from where you're from. And you recognize some of the techniques that you're used to in Elven work as far as metal work goes. But there's some new ones in here, which could lead to some new artwork and crafting intricacies into your armor and things.
Cool. Thank you, Icky.
Yes, of course. Now, Azure, yes, yes, so Skyreamer, I do believe is the next path for you, as I don't have any new information to send you anywhere or things of that sort, and me and this new friend need to have a conversation, at least 1, maybe 2, who knows, 3 even, but to discuss what may come of. You have the key. Can you show it to me? I know it's in a different dimension, or whatever, but can you at least prove that you have some sibling or inkling of what it looks like? Yes. Dex Mal kind of looks up from a book that he's currently got in his hands, and he's about 90% of the way through the book already. Kind of flicks his wrist over, and that same image that you guys are used to of seeing of the diamond-like polygon appear in the sky, or in the air above his hand. Wonderful. Yes. Okay. So, anything else that I can help you all with?
Rose, would you like to give Dexmel a last threat before we part?
Considering it. You kind of grew on me.
Good.
You haven't yet, Dex. If you hurt Icky in any way, harm or research in any manner, run around and don't provide the key after you feel suited. I will hunt you down personally with an entire fleet of Shadestalkers with me, and we will make you wish you had a quick death.
Ina's
kind
gonna
of-
look at him.
He kind of looks. He looks away from his book at you. Already, he's already scared of you guys, and then looks down at Icky, who's kind of standing there, hands clasped in front of his chest, so just looking in anticipation. And Kazur, you watch as his eyes flash in a different manner, not in an identify or what you guys just witnessed of the comprehend languages, but some other manner. I don't think I could hurt him if I wanted to, so I think we're good.
That's right.
Besides, I have far too many books to read to worry about hurting anybody, so...
He does have the ability to teleport Iki, so if you need more information from new continents, you could probably send Dexmel on an errand run, and then he can pop back into here.
That would be interesting. Don't you have to be there? If you're not, interesting things happen. Maybe we should try it.
Anyhow. Alright, everyone, shall we be off? Any last questions for Iki?
Oh yeah, one more. Got any good tea recipes in here?
Ooh, I would be interested in that myself.
I think he drinks coffee more than tea.
Ooh, coffee is also something I would be interested in as well.
I think I've got something. One moment, I'll be right back. Kind of scurries away.
This is about to be the most caffeinated coffee you've ever had in your life.
He
Just
comes back
espresso.
and he has it's a fairly newer, nicer scroll in his hands at this point compared to the other things that he's brought back to you guys. Yes, my own recipes. Copied it very quickly, just for you. Here you go. So, yeah, this is what I drink for bed and waking and day and the next day and sometimes a third day. But otherwise, yes, my teas, my coffees. Here you go.
Bed. You
I'm gonna
drink
be.
bed?
Oh, thank you so much.
You're drinking coffee to go to sleep? I think that's the opposite of
Oh,
that.
no, not coffee, sleep potion.
Oh, those are potions.
Oh, not all of them, just, the one, because I can't sleep sometimes. So,
Fair enough. All right, I appreciate the assistance.
He did it to me once. It's not the most restful sleep. It's just kind of you wake up very confused.
gets the job done. You take the scroll and you look at it, and there's a few different teas listed on there of plants you've never heard of. Perhaps they're in your new book. And a few different things of coffee, which look like a whole lot of bean and not a lot of anything else.
Bean.
I'll be playing.
Bean tea.
All right. Now are we good? Rose.
Uh-huh.
Ben?
All right.
See you in, I say, a week, I guess. Unless she has a long and detailed plan for us.
Never know. She's very cryptic. Don't know what she wants. She's scary. Be careful.
Will do. All right. So I will escort them out the chamber, point out the 3 steps they got to skip on the way up now up the staircase.
Yep. Uppies.
More uppies.
Do you want me to carry you?
Sorry, me.
Yeah, Rose,
Can-
I'll get my rope, my magic rope, to just basically make itself almost like
A baby
straight
carrier?
as possible. And yeah, I'll hold the backside of it, or I'll lead it, and Rose can be on the backside of it, and Ina and Baird can just hold on.
Just hold on. We hold up. Yeah.
It's like a bar.
Finally,
Love it.
Puppies?
the service we deserve.
All
All
right.
right.
You guys make your way.
How heavy is Baird?
He's
you're in
probably not
armor.
heavy.
Yeah.
But you're strong.
Ah.
Sheesh.
He fell off
We're
the
not
rope.
Shit.
shooting
That's
away
strong.
between the both of us.
I think you guys can handle it.
You guys can.
But either way, you make your way back up to the very large room with the wrought iron door. Kazur slides the bar and opens the locks that were locked behind you that you didn't hear, but make your way out of that room, back upstairs into the main hall, and back out to the entrance of the Salvation Order.
Bye, kitty. I'll say.
So walking out into the main thoroughfare of the town, as people are hustling and bustling by you, as I change the music because we're no longer in Iki's place.
Gulp.
You guys want to go ahead and take our break? I think that's a pretty good break point.
As we
Sure.
head to the stables. Sure.
I might make a little Sammy if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's fine. I gotta feed the cat and blow my nose and all kinds of stuff, so should work
Alright.
perfect.
Seems good.
All right, we'll be back here in a few
Great time.
minutes, folks.
Break, bye.
Bye. All right, guys. We are going to take a little break here. It has been a little bit of time now, so we're just going to take a little break. We'll be back here in like 10, 15 minutes after we get a drink, get something to snack on and everything of that sort. And then we'll come back to them doing the next thing that they're going to do. So, hang tight. We'll be right back. That's the wrong one. I want this one. There we go.
Hey.
yeah. Hey, buddy.
Welcome. Welcome back.
New Tarkov wipe is coming. Are you ready to say that we're gonna play it a whole bunch, then only play it like once or twice, and then give it up on it for entirely ever again?
Yes. I'm ready.
I do it every wipe. I'm like, yes, I'm so excited, and then I get like 2 months in, and I'm like, no.
No. That's funny. It's the way she goes.
It's the way she goes, brother. But dude, first quarter next year, we got so many good games coming out. So
Oh, I know. Yes. Yeah, I'm pumped. June looks pretty stacked.
yeah, dude, it's gonna be so good. Hmm.
Diablo.
Got Diablo.
Street Fighter's out that month. I don't know if I get Street Fighter, but that's still crazy.
Yeah, Forspoken's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
The Hogwarts game.
Yes, yeah, that's
Hades 2. Baldur's Gate 3 is supposedly finally dropping. The new
Really?
Jedi game. The new Final Fantasies, the Crisis Core remake in 16. Yeah.
That what's that? Is Crisis Core what's that?
The PSP game. It was the PSP offshoot of Final Fantasy 7. They made a remaster of it.
What was that like mech game that was revealed? That's like a Miyazaki.
I don't know. Armored Core. Yeah.
Oh,
Everybody was super hyped about that. I've never played an Armored Core game, so
I haven't either.
Hello,
but that
hello.
trailer was pretty wild.
I have a question, Fork.
I have an
about my new
answer.
character.
Uh-huh.
So, my character is a samurai,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'm not speaking to you. There's no actual like katana or wazashi inside of D&D. Is it okay if we just reskin a long sword and a short sword to be a katana and a wazashi?
Yeah, I think they have one similar to a Wazashi, but I don't
Yeah.
remember.
All the monk weapons they say are like reskinned. Like
Yeah.
it's like this is a bow staff or whatever, like whatever they call them.
Yeah.
All that stuff. Sai swords, and they kind of like show what the D&D equivalent is.
For the same thing of the armor, because Japanese armor it's different.
Yeah.
It's made out of there's a lot of different materials, but I'm just putting on a breastplate, but can I say it's skinned to be looking like Japanese armor?
Yeah, for
'Cause
sure.
she
Yeah.
is a samurai. Okay.
For sure.
I just want to make sure that's okay if you're not like, oh no, you had to do. And also, this might be silly, but is it possible to have a magical weapon since I'm coming into the campaign a little late?
We can talk about that later off. I did the same thing with Lapras. I'll roll some or get some. What I did for him was I got a list and I told him you can pick 2 of these things.
Okay.
Or 2 or 3 of these things of magical items that you get a choice of, so you're not coming in bare compared to everybody else.
Yeah, just simple shit. Because like, just take note that it's like a long sword, short sword. She's mostly going to be using the long sword, and unlike Rose, she won't be like constantly changing out her weapons because like she's pretty connected to the katana.
Mm-hmm.
She does have a longbow as well, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure that was okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Looking.
Jinsaki?
Jinsaki. Yeah. Sake.
Okay.
Yeah. You do know me playing a bard means I'm going to be singing. I won't sing entire full songs, but I'll do like itty bitty snippets.
No, we want full blown.
No, I can't do a full song. Just like maybe a verse, like a line.
That's awesome.
Are you eating a mustard sandwich?
No, I'm eating a tomato sandwich. Sorry, Weebo.
Yeah, so in the Dungeon Master's Guide, if you go to page 41, there's a section called Wuxia. A campaign that draws on elements of Asian martial arts movies is perfect match for D&D. Players can define the appearance of their characters and gear however they would like for the campaign, and spells only minor changes to better reflect the setting. Yeah, you can... a katana would definitely be a longsword, and a short sword would be the...
Wazashi.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what else I might need. I'll have more questions as I go, but like she's for the most part, she's like her basic shit is build. I just
Mhm.
have to like do spells, really, because she's a bard and pick an instrument. I haven't picked an instrument yet. I don't want to do a lute. That's so basic.
Isn't there
She
like
sings.
that
I can't
those...
do a flute.
Aren't those really cool Asian string instruments that they used for in old Japan? I don't know what they're called.
That's what I
But,
wanted, but I
yeah.
don't know what they're called.
Can't be that hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's a Wuxia table, weapon names table in the player's handbook somewhere. That like changes like longsword to katana and Tetsubo to great club. So yeah, it's even already written in. So we're golden.
We're golden. Sweet. Thank you.
Man, living the dream over here. I'm more of a silver right now.
Oh.
All right.
I missed
Yeah.
anything.
No, we were
I was
just talking.
asking questions about my new character.
Yeah, she was like, "Can I have a magical weapon?" And I was like, "Don't worry, we'll talk about that like we did with you."
Because she just has basic stuff, and I'm like, I show up doing like no damage.
All right, getting back into it, you guys exit the Dalvinchian Hall and plan your next move.
All right. So, I'm assuming that wasn't a very long conversation down there, so it's still before noon.
Well, with him giving the information of the keys and stuff, which actually took a little bit longer, I just shortened it because I didn't want to do his voice for however long. I'd say it's probably mid-afternoon, so like 2-3 o'clock ish in the afternoon.
All right. Well, would y'all like to go to a pub to get a good lunch and then head off to meet
Yes,
my leader?
I want to try the cuisines.
All right. I'm assuming here we have places that aren't like strictly bars, but rather actual food establishments, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, taverns are usually held in the same accord of, okay, you're here for food and drink. There are some higher end ones and some rather shady ones. Don't know which one you would know all of them, so don't know which one you'd like to take them to.
Also, can we have said that we converted all of our golden currency while in the Dalvinchian Order halls?
Yes, we can. So that
True.
there's something else that took a little more time. You stopped by the
There we
treasury
go.
and converted currencies. So
There we
your
go.
gold is
Oh,
all your gold is now usable in the town of Davincia.
Is it equal?
Yeah, it's an equal trade out.
all they do is take it basically, we re-smith your gold with the proper stamps.
Because that's
gonna be
legal.
hard to
By
explain.
chance, you'll have the same ounces of gold and silver and copper as we do. Wow.
All right.
Right. Yeah, because that's not
Oh.
math I'm going to try and do.
How quality do you want it, Rose? I would say we don't have the greatest of the continent here, but there are some pretty good places here.
What is your personal favorite?
You wouldn't want that.
Why wouldn't I? What's wrong with your personal favorite?
It's cheap, is what my personal favorite is. My
Okay,
personal
well, what-
favorite for food is the cheapest available food to feed me.
Okay, you're no fun. Okay, so maybe something a little more medium to up, not too upscale though. We're not talking about like things that kings and queens may eat.
Oh, we
but,
don't
you
have
know,
that here in this town anyway. That would be the city. That would be the city of Malawak instead.
Masarawak.
Sarawak.
Marowak. And
Anyway, that would be that.
we're
city
currently
right
in
there.
its children's city, Cubone, and
So we're going to, I guess, the best tavern in town, though, because that's essentially medium.
Okay.
It's the best
Okay.
tavern.
He takes you off, and as far as this map goes, north along the path. As you travel this direction, the establishments and houses and things appear to get a little bit better in quality. It's still not like intricate or gaudy. It's just, it turns more from woodwork into stonework, and more places have glass windows and things out in the front. Yes, Ina?
It'd probably be back in the neighborhood where my house was.
So it's more north than yours. It's not far off, but it's a little more northern. Yes, Ina?
I forget. Is the infrastructure, like the actual like architecture around here, very different?
It's not dissimilar as, I mean, all houses and things kind of get built in the general same way. I mean, especially wooden ones, you've got to have the supports where they need to be with the slats where they need to be. But there is minute.
Like imagine how like European
Yeah, and that's what I
English
was.
houses are different than
I was about to say.
would there
There's
be that
minute
kind of-
like architectural differences where everything's a little more curved than it is back in Estalia. The roofs have more of a like curve to them as opposed to straight slants coming off of them. The shingles on the roof are of a different make. You're not entirely sure what. You haven't been on the roofs yet.
I think Ina wants to draw some of the.
Of course. And the wood has more of the two-tone Tudor style house going on. When you get to the cobblestone, it's a little bit harder to discern differences as there's only so much you can do with stone. But they do appear to have more columns in this area, and the supports are made out of stone for like patios and stuff, as opposed to be made from wood and that sort. It seems that at least in this city, stone is kind of a higher end material to build with. So, but as you pass through these northern parts of town, you begin to see shops and things of higher quality. There are different kind of clothes shops, haberdasheries, jewelers, and a couple armor or arms and armor shops that you pass by. You don't see any blacksmiths in the area, so you don't get the idea that these are necessarily a work and sell kind of establishment, but maybe they purchase their arms and armor from somewhere else and then bring them in to sell them here.
I'll inform Baron that unfortunately there's no blacksmiths. We import mostly from Marowak.
I would say there are blacksmiths, but for like horseshoes and like nails and building materials. There's no like arm and armor blacksmiths in town. But you make your way to the Alabaster Dagger, which you know to be one of the higher end taverns in the area. Yes, Rose?
I would say Rose, as you're walking over, because you're talking about like blacksmiths and stuff, she would say,
Do you have any shops of magical needs, magical weapons, an enchanter?
Enchanters in these lands, mostly my order. Well, my order would keep an eye on most of those people, though.
Everything of that nature would be done through your order. There is one provider of such things, but is inside of your order, and but not many people in your town have need for that, so there's not really a reason to have that kind of store. And anything that your order would need is done on like a checkout basis. You go and procure and then bring back if you don't die. And if you do not come back with it, they know who had it and where they were going. So there's always a track record on magical items and things of that sort that leave the area.
I'll explain that to Rose.
So if I wanted to upgrade something, I have to go through your order? Okay.
Likely to not do that service. I mean, maybe with me as a result, putting a word for you, they might, but they rarely fine tune for someone.
Kitty!
Aw.
I would say the best place for that would also probably be Earwax.
Oh. Okay.
It's a
I'll
very
just-
large city. It's a lot of things.
I was just mostly curious, but I'll wait.
Okay, downtime.
He looks so soft.
He is the softest
I mean,
boy.
Skyrima herself may bring a gift. Who knows? She is handsome.
But
Oh, we're talking.
Back to,
I was gonna say, you do pass Baron, and given the last battle that you guys are in, a couple of jewelers that appear to have the level that you level of quality you might need for certain gems for spells.
I understand. I don't have enough money. Unless.
I do.
Really? What is it? I need 500 gold, don't I? 500.
300 for the small one, 500 for a big one.
when I've gotten paid for my
Actually,
job,
3 big ones.
4 grow now. Out of curiosity.
For bringing them back, that was given to you by Skyrim, and you might need to talk to her.
I just keep hearing Skyrim.
I'm poor, not
Skyrim
me.
is for
I
the
did not.
Nords.
I
did
see.
not-
It's hilarious because I come up with these names and I don't hear them. I'm like, yeah, Skyrimer. That sounds like a fucking badass name. And you guys are like, fucking Skyrim, fucking dork. What the fuck?
Skyrim, what a dork.
Just waiting until I call her Parthenax.
I just picture Baron like looking at the shop, looking in his pockets, and then looking at Ina and hearing her pockets jingle.
Jingle, jangle, jangle. I don't want to leave the Congo. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna go into one of these shops with. I need more revivify fuel.
Oh my god!
Oh,
that's a
wait.
good idea.
No. I actually wait. So there was a point where we got gemstones. It says I have 600 gold of gems in my bag of holding right now.
Where did that come?
That may.
It's
sound
in my
familiar.
pocket.
From the spiders, possibly from.
No.
No,
Yeah,
not
sounds
that far
long.
back.
No, it's not that
Okay,
far.
well-
That might have been from when we got the boat.
Those are
too.
non-diamonds, though. I think we established.
But-
especially where-
Yes, I remember now. There was a chest in front of my. Or there was
Oh,
like a chest.
yeah, because it had a bunch of
in
gold
my
and
boat.
gems in it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got 600 gold of gems. Does that include any diamonds that he could use? for
Let's
revival?
find out.
Also
It
just
has-
trade.
One diamond
Someone's
worth.
got a ring bell. Ding dong bell.
It does indeed have one diamond because I rolled really high. One diamond worth 350 gold. And so that leaves what, 250 gold of other gems?
I gotta see what revivify means. I
He needs
forget.
a 500 gold worth.
100?
No,
diamond.
Revivify's 300 gold worth of
Oh, it's 500
diamond.
Yeah.
Or
Um,
Yeah, that's
and then
250.
resurrection, I believe, is
250.
500. So there is 150 gold emerald, 4 25 gold rubies, and
4 of them.
yeah, and 4 25 gold sapphires. So they're little guys. They're little itty babies, but you know, they're gems.
It's
Okay.
1.50 gold emerald, not 150 gold emerald. I don't know if you meant that. Noodle.
Yeah, 1-50 gold emerald.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'll fix that in my thing. Thank you.
Could I maybe have that dime?
Of course, this is mostly used on you. I would never need it.
Okay. Sick. I wish I knew you had that.
Let's,
I kind of forgot I had all these gems and we never
No,
talked
no,
about
no.
it.
well, maybe we can exchange the other gems for more diamonds.
I have diamond dust on me. It says 200 gold pieces of diamond dust. They sell that here.
They might.
Get-
You could get 100 gold worth.
Yeah, to see if they'll give me.
Rose is digging around in her bag of holding and she pulls out this like little bag with the gems and she just hands it to you and she's like, I trust that you know what to do with it. She hands it to you, Baron.
Okay, I'll see if I can get a deal here.
Can we say this jewelry shop is right across the street from the tavern that we're eating?
It's not far off, maybe a couple buildings down. So
I'm gonna
I'll
go
go
in.
ahead and get us a table because they can be rather packed at times. Actually, never mind. I'm not leaving you all alone in this city. We're moving as a group. So
That would be wise.
let's just go to the jewelry store now and then eat.
right.
Is there anything else we were looking for? I've been kind of in and out because I've been building up my character sheet since I was like, well, I have the time.
I am just looking to sell this diamond dust.
Sorry, what was your question, Rose? Were you asking me something or?
I was asking
Okay.
Panties, like, is there another store he was going to? Because like, I can help, but I didn't catch it other than the jewelry store.
No, I just wanted to get a diamond, and I got one from you. But I should sell this diamond dust while I'm here.
How much diamond dust do you have?
It says 200 gold pieces of diamond dust.
Just so you're aware, Greater Restoration uses 100 gold of diamond dust.
You are right. I forget my spells and their components. That then. I may get rid of these gems though that Rose trusts.
Might be able to just trade them for other stock gems
Yeah.
for diamond and diamond dust.
I'll
Alright.
see if I can trade them for a diamond.
All right. So you approach the building. There's a small engraving on the window that says the Jasper Rabbit. As you guys enter, it is a well-kept shop. Glass displays all around, displaying jewelry and intricacies of all sorts. There are some what appear to be gemstone-made statues, not of like diamond and emerald, but of jade and onyx and things of that sort. But as you enter, a kind of a bell above your head goes ding 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 ding, and this more blue than red purple tiefling comes out from the back, the horn adorned with quote unquote piercings, because they're not really piercings on a horn, but just all inlaid on these horns that wrap around to the back of the head, long flowing black hair tightly braided in the back, with spectacles laced in gold, almost seem to have engravings on the lenses, perhaps magical of some sort. You're not entirely sure, but comes out and says, yes, hello. How may I help?
Hi.
Quite a few of you. How may I help you?
Yeah. I was looking for to see if I could trade these gems we got here for a diamond if you had them.
Oh, of course, I might have something of such that you may be interested in. May I see the gems and inspect them?
Yeah, I'll handle it.
You lay them down, and she kind of holds them up individually, looking at them through the light, inspecting them. Appear to be of decent enough quality to pass it into some of our finer jewelry. And you say you're looking for a diamond of sorts, or
Yeah, one at least worth like 300 gold, preferably.
300 gold. Let me check and see.
Diamond dust as well, if to top off, if
Of course, I'm not
even up the trade.
usually one to crush the gems that I use, but I'll see what I have in the back. Perhaps we have the shavings left over from making of jewelry, but let me see. He kind of steps into the back. She's gone for a few minutes. Comes back up.
Just kidding.
Comes back up front. She's got a small velvet tray, it looks like, of some sort, and she's got a couple or some gloves on. I'm afraid I don't have any, or at least a quantity I'm sure you'd be looking for, of dust per se, but I do have one diamond large enough, a little bit larger than what you were asking for, but it is a 450 gold worth diamond here. Given the gems that you have laid out in front, I'd be willing to offer 200 gold worth of trade-in, which would leave a 250 gold balance for the diamond.
How much gold do you have, Pan?
71.
Rose
Is
like
it-
pats you on the shoulder, and she's like,
You've saved my life many times. I'm totally okay with helping purchase this.
It really
It's
does.
more for us than for him, really.
like actually she has enough gold to do it. In fact, if you want more, she's willing to give.
That's more than enough. I'll add it to my tab. I'll save you first.
Thanks. Like you've already had twice.
Not me, the one that can heal other people.
Yeah. No, I can't let you live. You brag about it too much.
Brag about
Okay,
living
so-
too much.
You exchange the money between the three of you, and slide it over the counter and procure your 450 gold diamond. Oh, lovely. So good to see new faces in town. Perhaps you'll come back and visit me for maybe a ring or amulet or two. I find myself to be the best quality in town, after all.
Do you make all this stuff?
Me and my husband, yes. He's currently in the back, working away at a new project of his, but yes, it is our own establishment.
Cool.
Rosalind is like interested in looking around at like what they have.
Okay,
Yeah.
make an investigation check.
None of it
gonna
is magical, right?
Not that you can tell.
Out of curiosity, do you have magical jewelry with us here, or do you work with someone?
It's not the norm for us, but we do take them in on occasion. I believe, oh yes, we have two currently in stock. One, an amulet, and the other, a ring. A bit higher end, seeing that you are buying and trading a higher value amount of gems and money. You might be interested in them. She kind of turns around, and there's a cabinet behind her of, it looks like wood, but when she opens it, the inside of it appears to be lead of some sort. It's not iron, it's not wrought steel or wrought iron. It is a more sheen to it lead that Baron you easily recognize as lead. And pulls a small, very well carved wooden box out and sets it down on the counter and opens it. And you see there's an amulet in there inlaid with a diamond, not that much smaller than the one that she just traded to Baron, inlaid in a very intricately woven band or like necklace of platinum and gold. This one, from what I understand from my husband's inspection and the person who traded it in, is makes you a little bit more hardy and sturdy, prevents people from hitting you as much. And this one picks up the little ring that has a very finely cut, diamond cut sapphire in it, inlaid in a platinum band. And this one was actually sold to us not long ago, actually, but apparently protects you at least somewhat from cold environments or damaging cold aspects.
Amulet of protection and a ring of frost resistance.
Of cold resistance, yeah.
Cold resistance. How much is the amulet?
The amulet, I think we currently have priced at 1,700, and the amulet or the ring of cold protection currently at 4,500. The amulet of protection is just a +1, by the way, which
AC.
Baron could find out easily, but I'm just gonna tell you instead of having to fucking spend a spell and shit like that. So
Identify.
yeah.
So it's a +1.
yes, yeah,
It requires attunement.
it does require two. Both of them would require attunement. Yeah.
Can you wear multiple necklaces?
Theoretically.
If you can attune to all three, but
Yeah.
you know, you're only allowed 3 attunements.
Yeah, I don't know what my attunements are right now. I'm not sure.
I've been very lenient on attunements anyway, so
Yeah.
Well,
'Cause I
what
went
do
to-
you all- what- I think your Ring of the Ram requires it.
And our
I wouldn't
friendship thing.
it might regularly, but I probably told her no because I want you guys to have fun. I don't want you to have to choose between.
Our friendship ring requires attunement?
No.
Yeah,
Our
mine-
friendship rings are not attunement.
mine is.
Oh wow, Kazor doesn't have one. Sucks to
Oh
suck.
yeah.
Yeah, mine requires attunement.
I don't remember what even mine does.
Mine's the
Mine is mine's the magic weapon. Oh yeah, mine is attuned, and mine.
Let's
I'm
say, I
also
thought-
attuned to Ring of Free Action.
Oh, mine held a spell slot for Scale Found. That's what it
Yeah.
did. I could store another spell in it. I completely forgot about that friendship.
Yeah, I don't remember
thing.
what Enos did. What did Enos do?
Has mirror image.
Oh yes, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those all required attunement.
And I have the
I have-
spider slippers that require attunement.
So, and naturally, I think you can have up to 3 attunement.
Up to
slots.
3, yeah.
Yeah. So I
Unless
currently,
you're a
as
Artificer.
Rosaline, have 1 left. 1 attunement
The
slot.
friendship ring would be my third.
Okay, so
Alright.
Ina's all the way up. Baron has the.
Baron has
I'm
Featherfall.
assuming
Yeah.
the Featherfall ring is an attunement. The mace thing is an attunement
Yeah.
too, isn't it?
What are you doing?
So you got 1 slot left. I have 2 slots left. Although I'm
Is there-
already difficult to hit as it is, so maybe I don't need the the amulet. I would happily take the amulet, but I don't have to go
Yeah.
for it.
Well, okay, here's the question.
How much are these?
The
It is
amulet
1700.
1700, ring is 4500.
E.
Rings of resistance are expensive, hard to
Rare.
find, and hard
Yeah.
to make.
I am such an idiot when very beginning of the campaign I got rid of the fire one. I don't know why I did that.
So it was
What
a
did
lot
I-
of money.
What did I change it for? Oh, I got it my axe that
Yeah.
way. No,
I think you
yeah,
got
I
I think
was
you
an
got a
idiot.
I think you got a few things with that
Yeah,
trade.
Yeah.
No, you got your armor and your axe. I'm pretty sure.
And my
probably.
axe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I wasn't an idiot. I'm fine.
I'm
Uh,
I'm gonna pull the book out that I just got, the intricacies of jewelry,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna show it to the tiefling.
Okay.
And say, hey, I don't know if I'll be spending a lot of time in this town, but if I do, I'm a blacksmith by trade, but I'd be interested in learning from such fine craftsmen as you two.
He kind of looks at you, like puts her hand out, like, "Can I look at the book?"
Yeah.
Okay. She takes it, kind of glances through it for a second, sets it back down. That is interesting knowledge that you have there. We would not necessarily change our work, but it would be interesting read for both of us. I don't know how much work we have. I know my husband is currently busy on his own pet project, but perhaps come back in a couple of days. Maybe he's completed or needs help in some fashion, and we might be able to work out some sort of, not necessarily apprenticeship, but co-sponsored work. Might be fun to do, especially coming
What?
from 2 tieflings and a dwarf. Be a fun little partnership there.
Let's collab.
Did I put a deposit down on that amulet? I don't have the funds currently to purchase it fully, but I should in some time. And if you by chance, sell it to someone who has the full payment for it, just refund my deposit.
Roll a persuasion check.
Just like, hey, don't like. Oh wow, natural 20 with. Yeah, just 20. I don't have anything to.
It's not my usual fashion, but we don't sell a whole lot of these types of things, so suppose we could do that. You put 10% down, and we can not necessarily make sure, but hold on to it unless someone comes to pay in full, and till you have the funds available. Could be arranged.
10% down is 170.
170, yeah.
I don't even got that. Damn. Wait, hold on. I might if I convert all my silver. Hold on, let me think. 10 silver is what? No,
Again, you can ask the person who has the party money.
Why are
You guys would
so
have heard him say
broke?
this, by the way.
Give
Huh?
my money to my kids.
Oh, I heard him say this.
Yeah, you guys are all standing like at the counter with the person.
I mean, I can of course fund this as well.
You put down the 170.
I can do that.
Rose is, pretty generous. I think she's always been very generous with her money.
Or some. I'll put it in a separate box and make sure that, unless somebody comes in specifically looking for it, that it is not shown. Thank you, and I hope to see you again shortly, to procure this item.
I think within a week or two, likely. So not too
Understood.
long.
Like I said, it's not our usual thing, so I don't expect anyone to come in for it, but in case they wish to inspect magical items or magical rings, I will leave this one out of the endeavor unless they directly ask and have full payment.
Reason.
Understood. Appreciate the business.
Of course,
Yes, thank you
appreciate
so
yours.
much. And I must say, your jewelry is just quite gorgeous.
Oh,
Fantastic
why, thank
work.
you. We've spent many years perfecting our work and love to see new people come in and experience it.
All right. Shall we be off, everyone?
Yes.
Bear's gonna leave a card, one of his business cards.
Okay. It's
There's
carved in a
the
little piece of wood.
Person to message to.
Yeah.
Send a sending.
Yeah.
Does it have a little sketch of your face so a messenger can like, visualize you?
Yes, it does.
Very well carved. It's very intricate.
All right.
You make your way out down the street to the Alabaster Dagger and make your way into a very fine establishment. There is actually no walk-up bar here. Everything is served at the table, so you are greeted and sat at a table.
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Stop.
Hello?
Fucking stop.
But you are sat. Drink orders.
I'm sorry. I found it
Why
really
did it-
funny.
No, I was-
Why did that get you so good? I was not expecting that.
I don't know.
Welcome to Chili's. But anyway. Hello and welcome to the Alabaster Dagger. How may I help you and what can I get you to drink?
Your finest wine, please. Red.
Of course. Red, okay. And for
A
you
glass.
three? Just a glass,
Um,
understood.
Not thirsty, thank you. Some water, maybe.
Just some water, understood. And for you, Master Dwarf?
I'll have the house ale.
Understood. And anything for you?
Lemonade, please.
Okay.
Sorry, you said Master Dwarf, and I really thought of that interaction with Elizabeth. And I was like, no, don't call him Master Dwarf. Call him, what was it?
Senpai.
Senpai.
All right. So she leaves to gather your drinks. You look around. It's a fairly happening place. There's people seated at almost every table. Only a couple are empty. Plenty of barmaids and barmen walking about serving tables. There's all manner of food all over the place that you can smell. Gather wafts of meat and roasted veggies and anything in between. Your waitress comes back, offers you or asks for food. There is currently today on the special a plate of roasted veggies of local procurement from the markets themselves, freshly this morning, that are done up in a house special seasoning, prepared fresh every time. There are steaks cooked to order from local farms, and anything else in between, chicken and eggs and breads and pancakes of sorts, anything you could possibly ask for.
Is there anything she mentioned that does not sound familiar to Rosaline?
A bunch of the seafood does not sound familiar. Whether it's used by a different name or is entirely a different animal, you're not entirely sure, but there are, I'm not going to come up with every different fish and everything in the area, but a lot of the seafood and like daily catch that she bring up are completely different than anything you're used to hearing.
You
I
might
think
enjoy the fried shrimp. If you never had shrimp before, are shrimp around in
is there shrimp?
Interesting
where I'm
point. There isn't, because there's not shallow fishing in Estalia. It's all deep sea fishing.
Okay.
Oh, we have more crustacean stuff then. Like
Yeah.
mussels, mollusks.
So there was like oysters and mussels and stuff like that, but shrimp was not a thing over in Estalia.
What about lobster?
You guys had lobsters. Crab and lobster you've had before.
Okay.
Is would you recommend the shrimp?
Yeah.
She says to the waitress.
Lots of shrimp.
Yes, our shrimp is quite delicious. It's very large as opposed to some of our other competing establishments. It comes with a special sauce made fresh with our cooks every single day with a secret recipe that only they know. They can be cooked or served raw, a la carte, next to anything else that you would like as well. It's kind of your oyster with the more
I know what an
delicate.
oyster is.
You do know what an oyster is.
Okay.
But I don't know if you know what the phrase means, but with any of our crustaceans can kind of be served with other food as well for a minor extra cost as opposed to an entree. So if you would like to try more than one thing, it is possible to do so as well.
Oh, splendid! This place is wonderful.
Rose is like still going through and letting everybody else pick.
I'll get the red lobster biscuits and the
Ah, yes. Ah, yes. The alabaster biscuits are one of the most famous things we serve here, of course.
we're at red lobster. That's really what we're at.
You know what? Now I'm gonna look up a menu at Red Lobster and then gonna pick something from that.
That's not a bad. That's actually not a bad like connection to it.
I'll have the soup of the day.
The soup of the day, of course, is a wonderful cheese with a little bit of broccoli sprinkled in, seasoned to perfection by our chefs, with a side of toasted garlic bread as well. Bread.
I love bread.
I'll take a venison haunch.
Of course, we can prepare that. How would you like it seasoned? Heavily, gently, or just leave it up to chefs?
Chef
Interpretation.
discretion, medium rare. And,
Of course.
Let's go with some prawns as well.
Of course.
The roasted veggies, of course.
Prawns, raw or grilled?
Grilled.
Grilled, of course. We will take care of that right away for you, sir.
I looked up the Red Lobster menu. Is salmon a thing? Do I know what salmon is?
You see salmon on the menu. Don't know what it is. She lets you know it is a freshwater fish that they catch seasonally. It is caught seasonally and bought fresh from the market.
I would like that with the shrimp on the side, grilled with the veggies as well.
Of course. And would you like your salmon prepared on cedar plank or just fresh on grill?
She looks at Kazur.
Fresh on grilled.
Of course. And for you, Miss Gnome, is there anything I can get for you?
The weirdest looking vegetable you got.
Weirdest looking vegetable. I like the way you think. We will procure that and
It's
have
gonna
it out.
eat your vegetables.
One vegetable. It's like one head of lettuce.
Just
Also-
grilled on both sides. Here you go.
I also want to fully believe that Rose pronounced it salmon.
Salmon.
There's an L there, and she doesn't know that the L's.
Yeah, she definitely did. She definitely did.
Of course, I have put your orders in, and will be out momentarily as soon as they are finished. Is there anything else I can help you with in the meantime?
I got some bunions on my feet I could use. Can you take it off?
I'm afraid you would have to go to a different establishment for that. Apologies.
Sorry, fair.
I apologize to her. She likes to joke.
Perhaps go down the street to the Dragon's Dagger, and then you can talk to them.
Bunion.
Rose is giggling because she's like, ooh, she just threw shade towards this other restaurant that she does not know.
That's exactly what she did.
Yeah.
You know, why would you?
I'll be right back. I gotta blow my nose.
Yeah.
So now we're waiting. While we wait for our waitress to get back, now let us.
Well, she asked if we needed anything
It's
else.
not that she meant with the food. You know.
Sorry, I don't.
orders of
I
something.
wasn't. You know what? Before I met you guys, I was a fucking little dude staying away from people, so I don't know social cues.
I guess
No,
none
I
of
met you
y'all
guys.
know
I was a little gremlin.
She does have those bunions looked after.
I don't know. Do y'all have lemonade where y'all are from? I'm just sipping lemonade right now.
You know what? That's a good question. We don't know if lemons exist in our countries.
True.
What kind of climate do lemons grow in?
More tropical citrus.
Tropical.
Well, Bork did say early on that I have more citrus in these than y'all did. 'cause y'all have
That's
a lot of
true.
citrus.
So we don't know what lemonade is, right? We don't
I
know what
believe
lemonade
so.
is as a group.
So, because Bork did say
We know
y'all
what
don't have as
cool
much
is.
citrus.
You do not know what lemonade is, no.
I'm just sipping that right now.
Is lemonade a type of alcoholic drink?
No.
It's
well,
strangely yellow.
You can make it alcoholic.
Is it an animal's piss?
No. It's with sugar, water, and fruit juice mixed together.
Oh,
And piss.
Just for extra color.
Just a bit.
Would you like a taste of it, Rose?
absolutely, yes.
I was about to ask.
Also, your wine is excellent, on par with your Estalian wine. Has hints
Oh,
of
that's right.
flavors that you're not used to, as there are berries and fruits that you're not used to in this area, but it has a strong nose to it with a wispy oaken after flavor to it.
Rose is like, this is delicious. Noodle is like, I don't know what the fuck that means.
Here is the lemonade. We'll pass the lemonade glass for you to try.
Rose says,
Oh, I would offer you a sip of this delicious wine. It's so good. It's on par with my country's, but I remember that you do not drink, so.
thank you then. And she takes a sip. I have to roll.
It's lemonade. Everyone loves lemonade. You're a horrible
No,
person if you
no,
don't like lemonade.
No, I know people who do not like lemonade,
Then how do
okay?
you trust them?
Pulp or no pulp in the lemonade?
I trust them. Is it
Uh,
pulpy? Yeah.
I like both.
This would be pulpy lemonade.
No.
I mean, it is fresh squeezed lemonade and like medieval times, so
Oh, wow.
their squeezers
you
are
love
not
it.
efficient.
Oh my goodness, the sour, the sweet, its tartness. This is quite refreshing. Wow, I wish we had these at home.
I must order myself one as well. And she hands you back the glass.
I feel like you took way too big of a sip because you loved it so much. It was like we drank half my cup without even thinking about it because it was so good. Damn it.
You can have mine too.
These aren't free refills. You have to order these every time.
I don't think
Yeah.
anybody really does free refills.
They aren't free refills, and you just see Baron's cup is empty.
And Mira whacked this free refills on water, you know.
Okay, I'm gonna put the name of that city so you can fucking say it right.
Can you put it in the, don't spell it out, like, but put the pronunciation, what's it called? With the dashes.
Phonetic.
Meso Rowak.
Ma
Masay
say
Masay
ro
ro
whack.
Let's say we're
But they just but you can even just call it Masay because that's what they call it. That's the
Maase,
shortened
I'm
of
just
it. But
gonna
you
learn
keep
Maase.
you just keep saying
Masay.
Mayowack. Like
I
Masay.
want to hear him say
Maase.
Marowak.
But after a few
Do they
moments
have a
of
gym leader at Marowak?
you don't know yet, you'll find out.
Yeah, one's gonna kill us.
It's 151 wild animals running around in Meso.
The waitress comes back and brings another round of drinks to you guys, and lets you know
Yeah,
that your
have
food
A glass of that.
of the lemonade, of course, we can procure that very easily for you. I'll just bring a pitcher since there's two of you having it. Anything else you might need? Your food is almost ready. The cooks have informed me of that.
That's it. Oh, another basket.
I mean,
of
my
biscuits,
bunions.
please.
Those bunions.
Apologies. Still can't do bunions. Biscuits I can do.
Ina, I think because it's a strictly food establishment, you can't ask about bunions.
Sorry, okay. Sorry.
You know, they don't want that near the food.
I think Ina's joking. She like is just joking around.
And the waitress has
Yeah, I
understood that
know.
at this point, but and is joking back with you. It was a jokingly like, unfortunately, I can't do that. But
Yeah, because you're not dressed like normal Ina right now. You're dressed like proper grandma Ina.
Yeah.
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 You're dressed cleanly.
It's a
Um,
weird sight.
returns with a pitcher and another glass of lemonade and another basket of biscuits. And a short time after that, returns to the table with your food. A pack of venison laid in front of Kazur, a big old bowl of soup of broccoli cheese soup laid in front of Baron, a plate of salmon with some steamed vegetables next to it in front of Rose, with a side plate of shrimp. Oh, also a side plate of shrimp for Kazur, and I would say cauldron, but it's not quite a cauldron size. Large bowl of all manner of different vegetables. Some of them look like carrots, but instead of like one long carrot, it's like three that kind of jut out and go in different directions. There's some lettuce that almost resembles, you know, the spiny weeds that you get sometimes in the summer? Yeah, it kind of looks like that. Obviously, it's edible if they're serving it to you, but it has this kind of
Arugula.
I don't know what arugula looks like, but
it kind of looks a little similar.
it has this carnivorous plant appearance to it, which kind of like makes you excited because your new book that you have. There's a few different root or radish type things in there that are very long and cylindrical. They almost look like tentacles that have been spiraled around the bowl. It's very weird and obscure, and you're not entirely sure what to make of it, but it smells good and looks good, and you're kind of excited to dig into it.
Hell
And
yeah.
Can I say that like where they were used to with portions were like European portion sizes, but here it's like American
Oh, yeah.
portion sizes. of
100%.
food, So it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is way more than I thought.
Is everyone on this continent overweight?
Do they know this is just for me?
Yes. They do portion sizes. Y'all have quite small portion sizes, so but
How much is this all gonna cost us? I'm looking like kind of panicked. Like,
Yeah,
that's a
my
lot of
goodness, this must be really expensive to get all this food. It's as if they're trying to feed a whole family.
that'll be 3 copper.
It is America.
We love
It is America.
The
I mean-
lemonade picture is actually like the big gulp cup.
Baron is just wolfing this down. He's loving it.
Yeah,
It's-
Rose likes her food too. She tried the salmon first, and she liked it a lot, and then she tried the shrimp, and she liked it, but not as much as the salmon.
I think Ina's gonna look at all her vegetables, take them out, like as she's eating them, look at them, draw them down, eat them, describe them in the book, and go for all of them.
Easy enough to do.
And you'll
But-
enjoying your meals. A
Yeah.
little taste of home from me.
Wait, if this is like America, do we have to tip?
Yes. Yes. I was actively going to do that. I was gonna let them know, like, we have to pay a little more than what they ask.
Why, that
Aw.
doesn't make sense. Haven't they
Well,
just put they want?
The waitress themselves are somewhat paid off of the patrons, giving them money directly.
Well, that's
That doesn't
ridiculous.
seem right.
Yeah.
They should be paid by the establishment.
Maybe we should
Well,
talk
they
to
do,
the owners.
just not quite that much. So it's a little on the patrons themselves.
It shouldn't be on the
it's
patrons
supposed
to
to-
pay
it's supposed-
someone's
well-
living wage.
Well, as a result, it lessens the cost of our meal, and it allows us to evaluate how good the service was by the waitress. And so it's more of a custom of making sure the waiter and waitresses do their best effort forward, so the higher succeeding ones get more of a tip from the patrons than not.
But what if you have a bad day? Then you just don't get to eat that day?
Yeah.
Well,
And
Well,
like,
the food
what
here
if-
is so cheap that it's easy to buy enough a meal, I suppose, but maybe not your rent. But
what if you're just a bad person and you never tip?
you shouldn't be in the patron serving career line then.
No, just
No.
as-
He's saying
No, like-
you as a patron never tip.
Oh, I haven't really seen that here. We're in the idealistic world where patrons always tip.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll tip.
Wait, actually, I'm sorry, this is off topic, but it's sort of on topic. In Canada, is it normal for people to tip, or is it similar to
It's
Europe
normal.
where it's like
No.
you have to? It's
Usually
you don't
20%.
have to tip.
Definitely.
Ours is 20%. Yeah.
It was. I felt
Is-
bad. I got pizza today, and freaking the guy would like. I went to put the tip in, did the 20%, and he was like, "Oh my God, you're very nice." I'm like, "Have a good day, little gamer."
One time, I always feel bad when I do this, but like I don't like carrying cash. So whenever I carry cash, I just all of my change collects into a bag, and then every now and then when I order pizza at like midnight, and the guy comes to deliver it, and I'm like, I paid online, but here's your tip. I'm sorry, it's all in change. It's like $16, but it's all in change.
There you go.
So
I
like
mean, fuck it, it's 16
Money,
bucks.
money.
he gets like a he gets like a 50% tip, but it's all in change. So
Do you guys have pennies?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. We got rid
Anyway,
of ours.
Which-
So.
Which,
ours are
okay, I know another off tangent thing. There are some vending machines now these days that do not accept pennies. I'm like, fuck you. That's what pennies are for.
Pennies
Don't
are
wanna flip
now
on
just kind of
pennies.
allocating spaces now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
But
Oh,
it looks like you all have enjoyed your meal. Is there anything else I may procure for you? We have a very fine cheesecake that was made for dessert, if anybody would be interested.
Do we know what cheesecake is?
You do not.
yes.
Do I know what cheese? Of course I know what cheese.
You know what cheese is.
And a cake.
So that sounds really weird to you, probably.
A
Cake.
cake made of cheese?
Don't worry about it. Yes, we'll take. Let's take 2 slices.
2 slices. Of course, we can procure that.
Baron's like, 2.
And I
Remember,
will-
American portion size slice.
It's like half a cake.
Baron has an American portion size appetite.
He's gonna love it here.
I will take 2 as well.
Okay, so
No,
for
one was for you.
2
Then-
as well.
Maybe
Okay.
down to 1 for me
Thaumaturgy a
then.
bit. He uses thaumaturgy a bit. You can see his eyes like. burn.
3 slices of cake total. Just like, my bad.
tell you what, you can pay for 3. I'll bring a 4th because you're so nice. Also, with dessert comes a dessert drink. You don't have to drink it; it just comes with it. So I will be back with those, and shortly
Okay.
thereafter with cheesecake.
As a nude, like as me, the player, I'm like, yo, we get a free cheesecake and drinks. What is this place? I want to eat there.
I love
It's better lobster, you know?
She leaves and returns, and their palate cleansers is basically what they are. So you know the little shooter glasses are about that big, filled with it almost looks like milk, but has this kind of effervescent flowiness to it. Like it's not thick like milk, but it's opaque like milk. Sets it down. This is the current choice for this month is a lemon flavored. I don't know entirely what to call it, but it does have slight alcohol content. So those that were drinking water and lemonade, maybe you don't want it, but it's nice to kind of cleanse the salty kind of earthy taste from mouth before you get into your dessert, which is more of a sweet flavor. Yes, what may I help you with?
I do have a dessert made out of that honey grass.
Oh, the grass we do. It is actually more of a brownie than a cake. It's very dense, very, very sweet. I would suggest only one per person if you were to do it. Otherwise, it tends to make people's stomach a bit ill. But it is very good. I do suggest it.
Rosaline is looking at Ina and goes,
Is it made with any animal products?
It's a brownie, so there's egg in it, I'm assuming.
I'm
there
not
are brownies
entirely-
that aren't made with egg.
Oh, that's
I'm not
true.
entirely sure. Let me ask the cook really quickly,
If
and I
there's
will
any
be.
desserts or with no animal products, please let me know.
Or if
course.
you even just have the leaves. I mean, the little grass blades. I'd eat those too.
Of course, I will return shortly after I ask the cooks exactly what they make them with.
Oh,
Here you go.
superb.
And I'll hand her my empty plate.
Azira's doing the math of like the price of all this food at this point, and his eyes are just getting big. It's like, oh, this is gonna be a lot.
Rosaline goes back to Ina because she was like concerned that Ina's not getting a dessert, and she's like, Ina would like a dessert, and so she pats her head like, "Don't worry, I got you." I
Aw.
basically went, "Hey, she didn't order pickles on this burger."
Yeah,
As-
motherfucker.
The vibe I gave.
So she leaves, and do any of you drink the drink, the
Yes.
palate cleanser?
I
It is-
have drank and eaten my food in the time it took her to process.
It is it's limoncello. I don't know if you've had limoncello, but it's a cream-based, lemon-flavored, slightly alcoholic thing that just kind of washes out anything else that may be in there.
Like a lemon
It's
cookie
Italian.
shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Re-
Did I get drunk off once?
returns.
Whoa, wait, what did you say?
She said, "What the hell did I get drunk off once?" But anyway,
Oh, maybe like a lemon martini or a lemon drop.
No, maybe.
Wait, do you mean the character or you IRL?
Yeah, I know.
her RRL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your waitress returns shortly after with another refill of ale for Baron, and another. Actually, you guys probably wouldn't have gone through a pitcher yet, so returns with
Yeah,
another ale for
You
Baron.
would be peeing so much if you go through 2 pitchers of lemonade.
And-
Jesus.
Has been refilling Ina's water as well. I just haven't been saying it, but she returns. The lemongrass brownie that we have is unfortunately does have egg in it. However, the cooks have said that they can quickly fashion a different dessert made with the same ingredients aside from egg. It's not quite brownie. It's more of a cupcake kind of fashion. It will take a little bit longer to prepare, but they said they can do it as quickly as possible.
Rose looks at Ina.
All right, not getting my
So pretty
fucking
good at
bunions
improvising, yeah.
treated. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much.
Of course,
Why
I
are we
will.
doing a whole restaurant tonight?
You guys just kept going with it.
I'm actually hungry, and that's why I'm doing this. 'Cause
Aw.
I'm just imagining the food.
My dinner is back there. I'm just waiting.
She leaves a few moments later, or a few minutes later, returns and has all of them. Actually, they were able to. I love that in a magical world this has different meanings, but magically bake the cupcake quicker than normal. And sets down the 4 pieces of cheesecake and the lemongrass cupcake and a little piece of parchment set in the middle of the table. Here are your desserts, and I hope you guys enjoyed your visit to the Alabaster Dagger. We hope to see you again. Check is in the middle. Just leave the gold. As long as the full amount is fulfilled on the paper, it will be covered. If you would like to leave extra, that is entirely up to you. It's very appreciated, but it's not necessary. I hope you
Putting
all
your
have.
hand in for the check.
I hope you all have a wonderful evening.
Thank you so much.
Of course,
Rosalie
if there's
grabs the check.
If there is anything else you would need before you leave, just shout out Shala and I will make my way over to procure whatever you need.
Well, I'm gonna like put my feet out.
You're like the grandpa that like torments the waitress.
Oh my
when
god,
go
you
in the family
are!
dinner.
I remember
I
there was a grandpa of a family we went to eat dinner with, and every time the waiter would show up, he would just flirt hard with her in like the weirdest ways. He'd be like, "Did you know that I can do a Donald Duck voice?" And then
The hell?
The waitress kind of looks down at your foot and looks back at you, Ina, and smiles. I appreciate your candor. However, that is not something we do here. However, I do know a wonderful spa not far outside of town. If you would like to go, I would be happy to accompany you and introduce you.
You know what? I've actually become friendly with my bunions. So
Of course. Wonderful to know.
its name is Larry.
Larry the Bunion. What's the check though? How much is the?
You don't
grabbed
see
the
it.
check.
Rose has
I
it.
grabbed the check.
I'm
what
gonna
is it?
I'm gonna DM Rose.
I feel like I could do the math because I've eaten here before.
fair. Maybe you can get a
I-
close estimate.
She grabbed it because she's like, I know I ordered extra, so it's only nice that I like cover my parts.
All right, so it's /W.
Damn it! I was hoping you were gonna type it out in front of all of us. Accidentally.
/W
going
Ranger
quiet.
Noodle, no
Yeah.
at.
Oh, good lord!
You could also Discord me. That also.
I could also just watch Noodle
Yeah.
stream.
True. That's sneaky.
It's cheap.
Rose- Rosaline looks at it and goes, "Oh, that wasn't much," and she puts it back face up.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, that wasn't much. Put it down and like sweat starts pouring down your face.
No,
No, she lays it down.
She puts it down face up, so you could look at it if you wanted to. But like Rosaline, like is looking. She's like,
Do you want to split it, or do you want me just to pay for it?
The rest of you see it says 17 gold, 5 silver.
That's a
Oh.
lot compared to what we're used to, right? Or no?
Probably on par. I don't know.
Not by a lot. You guys ordered more food than you usually do, but I mean, it averages out to roughly 4 gold a person, which is a high-end meal at a high-end establishment. So
I mean, so I don't want to say this because I feel bad for you guys, but I got a lot more money than y'all.
"You do."
Let me take it.
how much does she have? Hold on.
I have.
She has a lot of scale
7,576.
She has a lot of scale found money.
How
And
much do you
then-
have?
I just don't understand how you guys don't have any money. I gave a shit ton of my money to that old wheelchair guy.
Oh, wait, how much do you have?
It's just like 1,600 gold.
Holy shit.
You guys
Oh, I
also
had-
buy magic items, so
I
Yes,
buy
I
magic
never
items.
buy.
I also had 900 at the beginning of the session, and then I gave up some of it to help pay for other.
and
things.
Baron tends to keep up on like healing and stuff like that. So
Yeah, so he spends a lot of it. And
Yeah.
That's fair.
Rose says if you ever like need help buying
I just
stuff for
haven't
your
gotten
work,
any money recently. Like I didn't have any of the treasures y'all have accumulated.
yeah.
But-
I would like to say that Rose has told Baron before that if he needs help paying for any like stuff he needs for like healing or potions or blacksmithing, she will gladly fund his cost. She is his apprentice after all.
Dude, that's the job of the apprentice.
Isn't he supposed to fund you?
Apprentices work different in our land.
all right, so Ina, how much money do you lay down?
27.
27.
and-
All right.
Oh, a
6
10
silver?
gold tip.
That's a
Well,
big
I was-
tip.
I was being an idiot. be
It's
fair.
true.
And
All right.
You would technically pay like 4 or 5 gold as a tip for 20%.
Ina
we
doesn't give
also
a
have
shit about
no
money.
idea how tipping works, so
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, no, would you? Would you do 4 or 5 gold?
For
Yeah.
20%? Yeah. 4
Yeah.
for 20%.
Or 4, yeah.
So you lay down how
Give
much?
us that
27?
Extra piece of cake.
Yeah, and 6 silver. Or 5
20
silver, was it?
Okay, so you lay down 10 extra gold basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you reach out and you lay the gold down on the table, you watch as the parchment in the middle of the table goes just kind of
Ooh.
erupts in this little bit of flame, not dangerous flame, but just a little bit of flame, and kind of dissipates into the air, and leaving a pile of 10 gold left on the table.
Oh, I was gonna think you were gonna leave us breath mints as well.
No.
breath,
So
little breath
funny.
mints after the. It's like, oh.
Little dinner mitts.
I'm gonna look at Scalebound, or not Scalebound.
Kazur.
She
Fucking
looks at
Christ,
Scalebound
Kazur.
from across the country.
Across the
Eyes
world.
into-
I'd be like, I thought we were supposed to tip,
Oh, you did.
but it's here.
No, she comes and picks it up.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
The rest of the gold went immediately into their sleeve.
All right. Got it.
It's a pretty neat magical system, honestly.
This is pretty cool.
It is.
Very secure.
Medieval credit cards. But
All right, so we just leave the plates here, and everyone. So,
Well, we haven't
let's go.
eaten our cakes yet, so.
Oh, I have.
Oh wow,
You've
Rose.
just been-
Not
you've
a
been
fan
doing
of
all the
cheesecake.
magic.
This is neither cheese nor cake.
she's not wrong.
Well, it's cream cheese.
What is cream cheese?
What is this?
It
called?
could just be. Wait, y'all don't have cream cheese? We? Oh,
Do we?
No, you don't have cheesecake. You don't have cream cheese.
What is cream cheese?
it's a mixture. Well, you know how you get cream from cow's milk,
Yes.
and you know how you get cheese from cow's milk.
Yes.
It's like a middle step process.
Intriguing. I should tell this to my kingdom. This would
It's very
definitely be a
sweet.
new delicacy. A delicacy I don't like, but you know. It is a strange dish. I'm used to cake having more fluffy.
I'm gonna try her slice and maybe oh, they put too much coconut in this one. That's what happened.
You try it. It's very good cheesecake. It's not overly, I want to say seasoned. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but it's not overly done in any way. It's just a really good base cheesecake.
Christ.
Is it a New York cheesecake? He said there's coconut, so I'm assuming it's some tropical shit.
No, there's no
Well, no,
coconut in
there's-
it. He was just referencing, he was just spitting something out to be like, oh, there's something extra in it. But I mean, it's regular
New
cheesecake.
York cheesecake.
Yeah.
Okay.
All I know is that's how I made a cheese. Well, I didn't make the cheesecake wrong. It was a friend that made it wrong. And you're supposed to use whatever recipe he was doing for the basing to help with the cream cheese was coconut water was supposed to go in it, but he used sweetened coconut milk instead, and so the thing
Mm.
never hardened, and so it was just this
Jell-O?
soupy- no, it was like a soup. Of, and it had the sand texture. It was,
Oh,
literally
God.
sweet sand. It
Hey, you live and you learn, baby. You live and you learn.
it tasted good, but the texture was horrible with it.
All right.
It was a good.
But-
it was really funny.
You finished your meal. Those of you who enjoyed your thing. Also, the lemongrass cupcake was a different
that.
experience for you. It was kind of dry. You gather that they cooked it a little too quickly as it was a fresh order and they weren't really prepared for it. But it wasn't bad. It was just a little drier than what you expected from the rest of the meal, but it was still very good. It had that sweet honey flavor with that cakey texture to it. It was still very
I'm gonna
good.
take 5 gold out. No, I won't. I'm just kidding.
You already tipped 10 gold.
But you finish your meal, and as you all stand up and kind of push your chairs in and make your way out, the waitress kind of passes you on the way out. I thank you for your patronage and hope to see you again very soon. Hope you enjoyed your meal and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
I haven't eaten a restaurant in a while.
Yeah, have
Mhm.
I. All right, shall we go to the stables and head off?
Yes.
I will take us to the stables.
All right.
The stables closest. I'm assuming there's 2 or 3 stables.
There's a few in town, yeah.
So I'll go to the one closest to the mountain side.
Gotcha.
To get us on that path.
So as you leave, you head a little bit southward past the jewelry store that you procured the diamond in. and then a little bit eastward, and there's a large gate that leads out the door to the city. It's currently closed, but there is a manor of guard station and stable located directly by the door. The guards are currently not on guard, but are there. They're kind of standing around talking, playing card games, gambling, doing the thing that guards do on their off time. And you approach the stables, which is currently lined with horses, completely stocked. As Kazur approaches, hello, what can I do for you? Oh,
We need to procure one of our Dalventian horses, and I'm assuming we need to rent. Ina Baron, can y'all share a horse? Or...
I can be a horse.
Oh,
No, no, I'm not going to say that in real life. Ina's pretending to be like super feeble behind a bear, and he's my caretaker nurse guy. While we're here.
Yeah, we can share.
we need to I need to procure a Dalventian horse for use in the.
of course, we always got those in stock for you, and looks like you probably need 2 more for your friends there.
Yes.
Of course, we can do that, and with your orders establishment with us, that is half price for the other 2. So how long are you gonna need them for?
Ever.
2 weeks at most, I think, if things go horrible.
2 weeks at most, of course, and if you come back sooner, we can always refund the days that you are not in use of them. But for 2 weeks, and he kind of gets a ledger out and starts writing down. 2 weeks half price, 2 horses would be 140 gold. Of course, with anything you don't use being returned upon arrival. It's 5 gold a day, which is pretty cheap for horse rental.
Rose, can you, I mean, they're your horses, I suppose, at this point.
Rose? Has rode horses? Is that what you're asking?
No,
Asking
I mean,
to-
these are your renting horses.
to pay
I
for
don't
them.
need to rent a horse. My horse is free.
Oh. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Either Ina or I can rent it. So
How much? 140?
140, yeah.
And then money will be refunded if we get back soon.
Hug. Removed.
Thanks,
Yeah.
All right. When you procure your horses and begin saddling up, Kazur, you would know after or having been up to Skyrim's lair, or not, I don't want to say lair, Skyrim's area.
Skyrim.
High Hrothgar. We're gonna go to High Hrothgar.
Oh, hell yeah.
Your trial just got way harder, guys.
I didn't say anything.
That is bad, hell yeah.
It is a day of travel to get to the base of the mountain, and then those 3 don't know it, but you know it. It is a trial of strength and endurance to get to her sanctum. So I don't know how much you want to share with them, but at least you know you have a day's travel to the base of the mountain.
I'll probably let them know that at the base of the mountain. I'll probably
Okay.
just keep that to myself for now.
So as you guys are preparing your horses, Kazur kind of lets you know we have a day of travel. You probably won't get there tonight. It'll be like early afternoon tomorrow. But you get your horses prepared and begin to set out on your journey. How long would you like to travel?
I'm fine with traveling through the night.
I say a day's worth of travel is 8 hours. At this point, it is roughly 6 p.m. No, 4 p.m. You did not spend 4 hours at the restaurant. Between the jeweler and the restaurant, I'd say you spent like 2 hours. So it's roughly 4 p.m. So 8 hours of travel to get to the base of the mountain would put you at midnight, 1 a.m., somewhere in there, depending on what may transpire. So
I'm fine with that. Stop at midnight.
How dangerous is it to travel at night in these lands?
Around the Da Vinci Order here, probably. I would know it's probably not that dangerous. Like there's the stray wolves here and there, but nothing.
yeah, so
Take care of wolves.
on the southeastern side, especially around the city, for the first half of the journey, It's not very dangerous. As you get closer and closer to the mountain, it gets colder and colder, and more dangerous entities are possible. You didn't encounter any on yours, and generally the people who make their pilgrimage up to the top don't, but it is a feasible thing to have more danger the closer to the mountain you get. So
Well, maybe we shouldn't rest up at the base of the mountain if that's going to be dangerous. Maybe go to.
You're going to want
Dog?
plenty of rest before we start climbing the mountain, I assure you. That's the best spot to rest. It's
We
right
could
before.
rest longer, just so that we don't have to do just only 8 hours. Just so we
Oh,
can all
sure.
make sure we all have like a turn guarding, but also all rest.
So what, you want to be about an hour's travel away from the mountain base then?
If it's safer,
It would be.
I would.
Marginal.
because
Let's
an
do it that
hour
way.
Isn't too bad.
So we'll go till 11 p.m. And then we'll just use that additional hour for rest in the morning.
all right. As you gather your horses and begin to make your way off into the forests and lands beyond Dalvintia, I want somebody to roll a d10 for me.
The D10.
Damn it, I forgot to get hot cocoa.
I'll roll it.
All right, Caduceus.
I was really going to do that. I was
Oh,
actively
okay.
planning to bring hot cocoa with us for the mountain.
You got it, Panties?
I got it, and I rolled a 1.
A 1.
Panties!
That could be good.
Hey, it's
the
always
way to
the it's
counter.
always the extremes, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
99 was Dolphins last time, so you know.
That's true.
As you guys
Maybe we
begin
can put it to-
as you guys begin making your way, the sun sets behind the large staggering mountain in front of you. I need to pause the happy jovial music here.
Wait, hold up. Why are you doing that?
Because
Hold up.
you're out of the city. As you begin making your way out of the city, the
Oh.
sun sets behind the large, daunting mountain in front of you. The peak stretches above the clouds, much higher than anything you're used to. Snow-peaked caps rise and stretch the horizon as you begin to make your way into the woods. Trees and bushes, things you're not familiar with, begin to stretch outwards. Kazur guides you not to touch some. Some are safe. Some can save your life in the most dire of situations.
Will
But-
draw the ones that can save your life and blah blah.
Yeah. As you make your way through the woods, everything is quiet and still. You can hear the flutter of wings flapping between trees, the creaking of wood as the wind blows through. As you're traveling, you get 3 or 4 hours in, so about halfway through your journey, it is now pitch black out. The only thing you can see through the canopy are the ever random glint of stars and night sky that is both reassuring and not at the same time, because it tells you you're still here, but you don't know where you're at. The wind dies down and the trees no longer creak. The leaves no longer rustle. The birds have all gone to bed, and the bugs no longer fly. But it's a quiet journey. You travel 6 or so hours at this point. Nothing has happened. You've traveled through the woods. It's all quiet. There's nothing about. It's eerily quiet. You don't know what to make of it. You're used to traveling and there are sounds. There are bugs and birds and wolves and elk and things of that sort just spouting out their noises in the woods. But there's nothing.
What did you do, Baron? What did you do?
The 8 hours
It's
come.
normal for here. Do I know this to be normal in this area or abnormal?
It's not necessarily abnormal, but it's not the norm. So it's not like there's something supernatural happening, but it's like this is still weird even to you.
Gives
that-
everyone an eerie feeling.
yeah, it's not necessarily like a bad feeling, but you almost have this sense of something over your shoulder at all times, even though there's nothing there. You look back.
Literally something over my shoulder at all times.
Yeah. It's like you look back and there's, just pitch blackness behind you. You look forward. It's just, it gives you the heebie-jeebies. But you reach the 8-hour mark, and Kazur kind of stops you and says, okay, we have about an hour's worth of travel before we reach the base of the mountain, here or there. That you should probably find a place to stop and rest for the evening. So 2 people can make a perception check, or 1 person with advantage.
Not me. No perception from my ass. Nope.
I have a decent perception, don't you?
It's also dark out, so y'all have disadvantage.
Well, they have dark vision.
Well, we have dark
Oh,
vision.
y'all have
Yeah.
dark vision.
Baron
I'll
and
check.
Ina do.
My
You know, you
perception
probably
is
would
+9.
Oh, hell yeah.
My perception is +7.
Should I do with advantage?
Ina with advantage.
Okay,
Sure.
so Ina with advantage. Go ahead and roll twice.
22.
22. Very nice. As you begin to kind of slow to a trot as opposed to a gallop or a faster movement, you're kind of trotting through the woods. There's a slight path, as it looks like people travel this, maybe not frequently, but given what Kazur has told you, this is probably the path that most of them take as they make their way through the woods. About 120 feet off to the left, Ina, your dark vision helps. It's still hard to see, but you see this outcropping that is in the shape of a circle, and given how people camp, you make the connection that this is probably where people lay down or sit down to rest on this journey that they make. Far enough off the path that if anything is hunting here, they're far enough away to have at least a warning of it. You kind of direct your compatriots over in that direction. Kazur, you recognize this to be a camping spot of the order when they go on their pilgrimages.
Fine.
And make your way off the trail to the campground is the best way to put it, where there is quite literally a circle of stones built, whether they be for seating or for protection, you're not entirely sure. They stand about 2.5 feet tall, and line the entire circle of the camp. Directly in the middle is a old burned out campfire, charcoals resting, with a small ring of stone around them, and a few spots that are flattened out appears to be for bedrolls.
I'll get a fire started.
I'm gonna cast Aid at 4th level because it lasts 8 hours. And that just gives you, what is it, 15?
Yeah.
15
Temporary.
hit points. I think is it temporary? No, it's your hit point maximum.
Yeah, hit point maximum goes up for 8 hours.
Mhm.
By 15.
Yeah. Because I'm casting it at 4th level.
Does it take long to cast, or is it an instantaneous thing?
That is an action.
It's an action. Okay. So as Ina, you begin to gather some of the dead wood laying in the woods around you don't take anything off of the trees, but you find some branches that have fallen on their own accord, and twigs and dried leaves and things of that sort to tender the fire. As you do that, Rose is beginning to roll out her bedroll. Kazur begins rolling out his bedroll and patrolling the area, just keeping an eye out for anything that's out of the ordinary. You do start to hear some bugs as there's a new smell in the area, as they begin to pick up on something that may be food for them. You all feel this like overwhelming warmth fill up your chest as everybody feels a little bit more hardy. And as you look over at Baron, he's kind of got this orange sheen around him that slowly fades inward towards the amulet that he's holding. And you all feel a little bit hardier. So you have a 15-point maximum added to your health for the next 8 hours.
Nice.
But
Who's
You're-
gonna rest? And who's staying awake?
I mean, I could take the first watch.
Yep, I'll take second.
I'll take 3rd.
Yeah, okay.
Ina gets to sleep 12 hours straight.
All right. So as you set up your camp, you gather extra firewood to keep the fire going throughout the night, and lay out a certain area of watch that you keep, Baron. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me for the first section.
Perception check. That is 16.
16. As you're kind of patrolling, walking inside the circle of stones, you're watching out in the woods. The tree line, so it's literally a giant circle. The fire sits directly in the middle. The stone sits about 20 to 25 feet outside of the main fire, and you're kind of patrolling it. So you're roughly 20 feet away from your friends at any given point, which makes you feel very comfortable knowing the limit of your spells, that all of your friends are within them at any given time. As you're patrolling the outside, kind of watching the trees, you take a break every now and then, sit down on the stone and kind of watch out. Every now and then a bug bites you on the neck. You kind of got to slap it. You pull your hand away and you're like, holy shit, that's a big fucking bug. You go back to your watch. You don't see anything moving in the woods. What you do pick up is there's one tall stone that sits kind of, well, you would know giving your travel, sits on the northern end of the circle. It's about 15 feet tall, kind of stuck upright, that lays inlay with the circle of stones. There is all manner of what appear to be initials carved into this stone.
Okay. Can I take a closer look at that? I have stone cunning, and I'm wondering if I can.
Yeah.
Gonna look for my initials.
So you, after a couple hours of roaming about and thinking, okay, we're pretty good, and nothing has stirred in the hours that are the hour or so that I've been watching, because an hour is like 2 or 3 hours. Nothing stirred in this time. You kind of approach the tall stone and look at it, and it is, I mean, it's a basic stone. There's nothing special about it. It looks like it was placed here kind of as a marker. Maybe this was the first stone in the circle, and just in time they've added the ring around as an extra defense. But you look at it, and all the way from the top, there's rows. There's 3 rows. One that kind of curves down the left side and follows the form of the rock. One that goes down the middle, and one that follows the form on the outside. The left side and the middle side are filled from top to bottom with initials ANH, ZTD, ABD. It's just initials, or what you gather to initials. It's 3-letter segments that just follow the line of the rock down the left side. Same with the middle. The right side is filled about 1/3 of the way from the top down. And it's hard for you to make out those initials, as it's about a 15-foot tall rock. But given your dark vision and your stonework, you can tell that there are letters carved in on that right side.
Do we have middle names?
Given your passive insight, you can gather that these are probably people that have traveled and rested here and carved their initials into the rock at this ring.
I'm going to carve my initials into this rock.
This is a front. I wake up and attack.
All right.
Our sacred
Wait.
stone.
So
Baird-
do you have a middle name? You're Baird Silverhammer, or are you gonna be like BS?
BFS. Bull
Bull-
fucking shit.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if dwarves have middle names. That's
Once again, this is a new world. They could have other norms that you guys aren't used to.
I'm just gonna put a BS.
Right?
Meanwhile, you're carving into what, like, quite literally could be a sacred stone to my order, and you're just taking it upon yourself to do this.
Like literally could be like thieves can't, like they're writing messages and he's over here like, hey, can you put my name?
It's like we're just reading like a message, like, what the fuck is
Where
this?
do you carve your name? On the right side, following the line, is too high for you to reach.
Yes.
Are there hearts there that surround
There are
it?
not. There are no hearts.
I'll
A
put it
little umbrella.
as high as I can on the right side,
Okay.
knowing that it will not be high enough to continue.
He's skipping the pattern too. Lovely.
You reach up and with your hammer and chisel carve in a fairly intricate B.S. in the stonework above you. You've been here.
I wonder if I should do this. I won't do it on this stone, but on one of the stones bordering it,
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna hammer in one of my symbols of Moradin.
Okay. Go ahead. Just roll a d20 for me.
I would have laughed if after he put his name in, it's like, thank you for signing the contract.
Yeah,
You become like a warlock.
it's
Yeah.
the death note. I rolled a 15.
15. You walk the perimeter a few more times. You're like, okay, I took enough time looking at this and signing my name. You get to the southeastern kind of quote unquote corner edge of the circle. And you're like, this is a nice flat, easy to work area. And you begin carving the symbol of Moradin in. You get that carved in. You kind of stand back and look at it. And you look at so you carved it on the top of the rock. On the face of the rock that's facing inwards of the circle, you look down and you see a similar symbol to what you witnessed when you went on the adventure with Ina into the Melora realm, Fey realm. So you're not the first person to do this kind of thing.
Cool. Okay. Nice.
But the rest of your watch goes by without a hitch. Everything is quiet. It's still that eerie, too quiet thing, but it's quiet. Yes, Rose?
What does the symbol of Moradin look like again?
It's a hammer with
handle?
2 heads on either side of the hammerhead.
Then what does the symbol of Melora look like?
That is a question I am not entirely familiar with.
My
I
Because
think you made it a tree. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't ever all
It's kind it's kind of like the Yggdrasil tree, where it's like it grows up and it grows down.
It's like a
Because
You-
like this whole time, I've been thinking that the symbol of Moradin looks like
I'm seeing it look like a swirly.
this, or like sorry, like this. Because I thought I was like, oh, it kind of looks like a hammer and like an upside down M, I guess.
No, it's. I
That's
mean,
not what
it is a hammer, but it's much more intricate than just that. But your watch concludes. Who is taking second watch? Kazur?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Wow. Okay, I am on fire tonight. 27
Extinguisher is not required.
27.
was a natural 20, so
There you go.
I don't know if that adds to it or not. But
As Baron wakes you up before he passes out and begins snoring loudly in the circle, he lets you know about the initials on the stone, and you tell him about the Moradin carving? Yes? Okay.
Mhm.
And that he
I put one of
carved
it out.
his symbol into a stone.
Oh, I have symbols. I was gonna just hammer it in.
Oh, okay.
It
Gotcha.
isn't, his home.
That works. Okay.
Kind of like
And that he did that. As he tells you this, you kind of look up at the tall stone and recognize all of the initials carved into the stone in front of you, and realize that these were all travelers that stopped here on their way through.
Okay, yeah.
it's not my order stone or anything. It's nothing important to us. It's just people randomly carving their names.
It's just you recognize some of the you think you recognize some of the initials just because of names, but you don't recognize all of them, which makes you think, okay, it's just travelers saying they were here, not necessarily this is a sacred spot for our order.
you'll see too. I
God.
left my hammer and chisel there for you to do it.
But you begin your watch. You leap tree to tree. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna spider climb on top of the stone and keep my watch from there.
Oh, that works too.
Just
You
kind of
climb
like
up on top.
patient pose, meditate pose on top of the stone and watch.
Did you roll for today, by the way, for your...
I did not. 7, so very
7.
neutral day.
Very neutral day today. So
You
as
are
you...
a pH meter.
So as you're sitting and watching, you kind of notice this dark gray smoke kind of appear next to you and is sitting not quite adjacent, as this rock isn't a square. It's kind of a cylindrical form, but is adjacent to you as you're keeping your watch. You're watching the trees not move at all, which is disconcerting, but you haven't seen anything that would endanger your group, just worry you.
There's no wind though. So
There's no wind. There's no bugs. Except every now and then one will kind of fly up and land on you and you slap it, get rid of it. There's no birds. You don't hear any wolves howling. It's just an eerily quiet night.
I
but
just
noth-
have my crossbow drawn and ready to shoot at anything.
Yeah. But nothing seems to disturb your guys' peace. It's a quiet night. Too quiet, but quiet enough. But you end your watch, assuming you don't carve your name and stuff into things.
Don't, and I moved the chisel and hammer back by Bam.
Okay.
That before I woke up Rose.
All right.
Sup? I'm Rose.
Rose, you are awoken by Kazur,
Tell me about the
who you can barely see in the night right now as it is pitch black. You kind of only catch the glint of like the eye sockets, and that's about it.
she.
Okay, you put your goggles on and you can see him, and it's kind of jarring to go from barely seeing him to, hey, Kazur's right here.
Oh, you're a lot closer than I thought you would be. I'm sorry. I'll give you a little bit more space.
Oh, sorry, did I get too close? Anyway, your watch time is here. You should. It'll probably be till sunrise. Watching things.
Oh, I would love to see the sunrise. Is there anything I need to be aware of?
It's super quiet out. There's no wind. Creep factor is still there. There's initials on the stone. People seem to just sign it. They sleep here,
Oh, like a guest book.
I suppose. And that's about it. Nothing
Sure.
much. No wolves. Nothing. I heard nothing. Watch out for the bugs. There are a few random bugs. That will
As one lands on your neck, Rose.
Okay, yeah, that's disgusting, but thank you for the warning.
But that's about it.
Sure. I'll keep watch and let you know if anything happens. Sleep
Just
well.
yell. Just yell if you need help.
Of course.
All
Oh,
right.
no, they all got malaria. They don't have their malaria resistance like I do.
As Kazur
Yeah, we would
falls
get sick. This is a new land. We're not used to this stuff.
easily,
No, they're magically guarded. Don't worry.
as Kazur falls to sleep, Rose, you take your watch. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
It's loading.
6.
The bugs are way too distracting.
It's not even necessarily the bugs, because they only come ever so often, like once every 40 minutes or so. It's more of the initials, and you really want to know what these people's names are. So like every time you make a circle, you take 5 or 10 minutes looking at the initials, and you're like, Abernathy Daniel Hawkins. Yep, that's his name. Daniel Paul Rollins. Yep, that's his name. And so it's just
making a life story. It's like people watching but reading initials.
exactly.
Oh,
This
see,
is
these
nice.
two are written very similar. I'm quite sure it was written by the same person. Maybe they're lovers. Maybe they're family.
And it kind of distracts you from the calm of the night. You don't realize that there's no wind. The ever now and then bug that lands on your neck or your arm is just kind of, you get used to it by the end of your watch. But nothing seems to transpire out of the norm besides traveling in the woods.
Do I see the sunrise?
You do. Towards the later hours of your shift, you look to the east. Your eyes catch the warm orange and yellow glow of the sun beginning to rise through the trees as the mist and fog of the dense, cold woodland air begins to combine with the warmer air coming from the sunlight breaking in, as it makes this oddly beautiful sight through this eerily dark evening.
she loves it. She thinks to herself,
I wish I could draw.
The sun rises, the end of time, or the end of your watch comes as you begin to wake your compatriots for the last hour or so of your journey. You all have a breakfast of relatively drab affair compared to the the meal you had the night before, and pack up your belongings and begin continuing on the road to the base of the mountain. Yes.
Before we leave, I would 100% get Ina to sign that wall because I know that is absolutely
Okay.
her
As you
shit.
all wake up and are having breakfast, Baron comes over to you, Ina, and shows you the wall where people have initialed their names onto the wall.
And I know it's been confirmed that it's signatures for no reason.
Through
I'm not
talking
like-
with Kazur, you make out that it is definitely people who have traveled through here. It is not a
Something
fiendish contract or something that you're signing. It is just people that have traveled through and have written their initials.
A few of those initials, I'm pretty sure I know who they are.
I'm
that's
gonna
a cool
put
concept, though. You carve your name in a tree and accidentally sell your soul.
yeah. I'm gonna put not my initials.
Okay.
I'm gonna put like JB or something. Okay.
Okay.
Or JP or QR or
Justin
something.
Bieber.
Yeah. And
All right.
like
Could
be
have
like
put BJ. Damn it.
I
Ina.
know that's me. But I'm gonna
You
put it
guys
like
are
really,
pussy.
really low, as small and as low as I can.
Okay.
Only I'll know my name's there.
There you go. Easy enough for you to do with Baron's tools and your tools in hand. You can easily carve your fake initials very small into the bottom.
You guys are pussies.
Yeah.
I
As Baron
I'm a
turns
what?
into a freaking Baylor.
I almost carved your
That
guys'
just killed me, dude. I don't know why. What?
Well, okay. But like, I don't think she knew she could write into it because he put the writing tools by you, Baron.
That
while
is
she
true.
was
Mhm.
while she was, in her walk, so
What?
she didn't know.
Sign
Rude.
It. Sign it.
Sign
It-
what?
It's fun. It's a guest book.
Oh, yeah, I would love to.
And Rosalie will put her real name.
All right. You can reach the bottom of the right hand side one, but you got to kind of like stretch over your head and do it.
Rosaline's I'm just gonna say she doesn't have a middle name. It's not tradition to have middle names. So she puts RS and then she's like,
Baron or Ina, can you draw?
Mhm.
Can you make a little rose right next to my initials?
And if you put me on your shoulders, I can.
Absolutely.
Roll a performance check for me. See how good the rose is.
It better be fucking good, Ina. Well,
Well, it's hard to carve into stone. For somebody who's not used to working with stone, what's that face for?
I just had about the 12.
Oh, okay. For somebody who's not used to carving stone, you're used to carving wood and whittling and things like that. It's a little bit different. But it definitely has the resemblance of a rose. It's not the most intricate, defining rose in the world, but you can, as you take a step back, you look at it and you're like, yeah, that's a rose.
It looks splendid. Oh, you're way better at drawing than I am.
and she gives you like a little hug. Well, you're like on her shoulders, so she gives you a little squeeze.
You want me to sign the stone, Baron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How important is this to you?
I don't know. It's fun. We're having fun. We gotta have a little fun.
I usually don't think it's wise to leave a mark on where your presence was. This is
Yeah,
quite literally a visible, detailed, long, effectively eons worth of a footprint.
Oh,
This
well, if I
will-
die, it'll still be here.
Yeah, and this mark kind of shows that we went to do this badass trial, right?
You don't know about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
technically
The
you don't know
mark
about that.
Says that we went camping. You don't have to if you don't want to.
I'll be a smart ass with it, and I'll start carving.
F you.
F you, and then Baron's initials. No, I won't do that. I'll do.
Ups.
I'll put a skull and the Da Vinci in order. So,
Okay.
I guess.
Easy enough for you to do. But having carved your names in and left your mark on this area, you gather your things and begin traveling for the next hour to 2 hours, somewhere in there that Kazur has told you that it would be. The eeriness of the past evening has gone away and has bred into a much more similar to what you're used to in the woods. As I find the oh, that's just fire. Hold on. As you
Wait.
begin to make, we're almost done. So for tonight, you make your way towards the base of the mountain. You find yourself growing colder and colder as you get there. It's not freezing, but it does drop the temperature by, for us Americans, by like 5 to 10 degrees, and for the Canadians, like 3 to 5 degrees.
Hmm.
Are you okay?
Sorry, Lapras rolled for his attitude for the day. He got a 13, so I said, "Wow, you're basic."
No, I'm neutral again.
She's cracking herself up over there. But
Basic.
anyway, you get to the base of the mountain and you look up, and it is this just awe-inspiring, imposing image of mountain peak, snow, and rock that is kind of washing over you as you're trying to grasp the situation. Before we end, Kazur, is there anything you want to tell them now, or do you want to tell them next time?
So so there's like a defined pathway starting up the mountain, right? Like there's like some chiseled stone, or at least like a slope that's well worn.
Yeah, so there is a defining pathway that starts the trail up to Skyreamer. However, the trial to get up to her changes depending on the people or persons traveling up the mountain. And so once you get started, there's no turning back until you reach the top or perish.
Jesus Christ.
So right before we set foot on, like, I guess, like the clear line of like the starting of it, I will. All right, everyone. I feel I need to go ahead and disclose this information now that we're here. This is not going to be just a hike up a mountain.
Yeah, it's gonna be a
Climbing up
cold hike
Mount
up the mountain.
Everest.
Huh?
We're basically climbing up Mount Everest.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Okay.
This mountain is different, not only from its massive height, quite possibly the land itself is enchanted.
Oh.
To reach Skyreamer, we will be going through some trials. Trials that cannot be ran away from, that cannot be forfeited. And as soon as we start our journey up this mountain, you won't make it down until we go to the top. There's no turning back. The only way back down is if we have the blessing of Skyreamer, or through your death and decay upon the mountainside. So, I feel I need to disclose that. If any of you wish to not partake in this,
We come this
that's
far.
the dealio here.
Well, it's not like I have anything left to lose.
Good thing we got those diamonds.
It's can I tell them the story of my trial, or I don't remember? I don't know. Did you ever tell me my trial? know
I
you
haven't told
me
you
of
your
the
trial. I know you went through your trial. I haven't told you of your trial yet.
I guess I'll wait till next session and you can message me.
Yeah, that's
that,
fine.
if you have that.
And you can be like, well, the difference for me was this. So,
Mm.
yeah.
So All right, I'll just disclose that information of the trial and get their headspace about this and let them know, like, hey, this is not like this is just as dangerous as their vampire dad's lair. Like, as soon as we start this mountain, this is a lair. This is not a safe place. This is a you are going to be challenged at any potential corner.
I definitely died during that whole excursion with Vampire Dad's lair, so
There are a few deaths.
yeah.
So, with
that's
that
the case here.
with that information given, you're all left with the thought of imposing doom, but also great reward once you reach the top. As you contemplate your decision on if you would like to continue or not, standing at the base of this snowy spire, you all gather yourselves before moving forward. And that's where we're going to pick up next time.
Yay! Oh my god, next time's gonna be so fun.
So, now, like I said before, holidays are coming up. If we have to postpone for a few weeks,
Yeah.
we all understand, like everybody's busy visiting family and everything like that. So, Rose, I'm definitely going to talk to you about your new character and where we're going to leave Rose off at. If anybody else has any ideas for if they want to switch characters, continue with their characters, or things they want to do in this world, let me know so that I can start preparing for it in the weeks that we have off, and knowing what I need to do to go forward. And I'm not, I don't want to say blindsided because you guys are really good about letting me know beforehand if you want to do anything. But there's a lot of time here that you can decide on what you want to do. So if you want to stick with what you got, just do it. But
I want to go back to skill. I'm joking. I will say next week, this coming weekend, I won't be available.
okay.
This. Okay.
Oh my god,
And
that's
then
snap.
likely the next weekend, everyone's unavailable because that's Christmas as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not available for that one.
Yeah.
Next weekend, I am available.
Okay. Once again, I generally stick with the rule, whereas if we're missing 2 or more, then it's just not worth it to do it. So if only one person's gone, I'm still okay doing it. But if we're missing 2 or more, it's a little bit iffy. So
We're doing my
For sure.
family Christmas next weekend. So
gotcha.
Oh, there you go. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And if we just want to take some weeks off and play other games with each other, that's also a thing that we can do too. Like,
I
We
feel
don't-
like one thing I think is if all of us aren't here for this, I feel like we all need to be here for the
True.
trials.
For the
True.
trial,
You know.
very true.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mhm.
Very, very true. But
I mean, you
But
could
we could-
always write it fork that I've already passed the trial, so I end up somehow on top of the mountain.
no. You don't get no. You don't get off that easy.
Yeah.
I gotta go through a trial again. Just 'cause
Yeah.
someone's happened. Question, Fork. This is a
Huh.
genuine question. If I were to go up this mountain alone, I would have a complete easy passage because I've already passed the trials.
You don't know.
Correct? Wait, no? Oh, I thought. Okay, all right. You're doing this different than I thought. I thought
If
it
you
would
went
be
up
like
alone-
a one-time trial, and if you made it, you always have easy passage by yourself from that.
It could be that way, but you don't know.
Do you think it would be like if one person went, it would be a certain amount, and it gets harder the more people?
Feasibly.
I relate to you that
Doesn't
I
make-
know that the trials are dependent upon the mindset and the people who are facing it. Like the
Yes.
trials
Oh.
are always unique.
Yeah.
It's not
Okay.
the same.
I was gonna say because like if we went through this and had a hell of a time, I feel like we'd be like, "Holy shit, Kazor, you're a bad bitch if you did this alone."
It depends on the person or persons going through it and what their skill sets are to challenge their skill set.
Yeah, so he's saying whoever's there, I gotta adjust the challenge rating and look for
Mm.
creatures.
I gotta let them.
It's
I tell
not
them the story
necessarily-
about a 10-year-old boy doing the trial.
It's not necessarily going to be like waves of fighting. There could be puzzles or mountain scaling or things of that sort where Kazur would be really good at scaling a mountain, but Baron, who has heavy armor on and is a stout dwarf, may not be as good. So it's a trial for you guys to figure out how to get through that environment. So
Now we're gonna have a friendship trial.
I'm gonna laugh if one of the trials is, there's somebody with a charming spell that everyone has to constantly roll wisdom rolls every 5 minutes. And Rose will be like,
Oh fuck.
I'm dead.
Or there's something we have to sneak past, and Rose and Baird and
Oh fuck.
All right,
Trial
but
failed.
that was fun today, guys. Thanks for playing. It's
Thank
not
you for
always
having
life and
me
death
and us.
combat.
No, we just ate at a restaurant for some fucking reason.
Hey,
That
that's
was way
peak D&D
longer than I
right
thought.
there.
I'm really hungry now. Now I want Red Lobster biscuits.
Yeah, they're so good. All right. Well, have a good evening, guys. Have a good week. The rest of the weekend if you have it. Baron, have fun at work. But yeah,
Panties.
no, Baron. But yeah,
Yeah.
have a good night, guys. I'll see you
Bye.
next time we play games together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you guys.
All right, chat. Thanks for hanging out. We'll be back when we're back. I'll be sure to post on my Discord when we're gonna have D&D next, since it could be a maximum of 3 weeks off. But thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys had a good time, and I hope that you guys continue to watch. Until then, I'll see you next time. I love you, and I love you. Bye.